try turning it off or turning it back on again. That's what I have to do. Stupid computer.
Don't stop the body rock.
Yeah, it's Disco Wednesdays, I guess. I'm so late. Apologies. But let's bring it home with some EDM. I'm in a jolly good mood because I spent like the last 2 days recording, wading through all of these McKay Answers voicemail things, and I finally got them done. And I can't tell you, I would literally wake up at night going like, oh God, when am I going to do that? When am I going to do that? I gotta sort that out. Anyways, I was very happy. Never apologize for your type of groove, says Nixie Geek. And Nixie Geek is right. Yep, Wednesday Disco. James R. Gurney. How are you, James? So late. I know. I'm so late. So true. I apologize, Sarah Owen.
Don't stop the body rock.
Hard to stop the music, but I'm going to do that. All right. The music has stopped. The talking has started. So like I said, the logistics of that, I guess I didn't really understand how complicated it was to, well, admittedly, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I mean, they're still not perfect in my mind. I still feel like I could have done, there's probably a better way of doing it. But I wanted to record these things so that you could say like, you know, David can't come to the phone right now, but make it part of a McKay thing that didn't sound like, you know, hey, it's Rodney McKay from Stargate, and Frickner has come, you know, like it didn't, I wanted it to sound like it was all part of one thing. So I tried numerous different recordings to try to make that work. I tried a little bit of automation, and that was a disaster. And eventually I was like, this is crazy. The only way to do it is just to plow through. And so every single one of them, I had to just move them around and make sure that the levels were okay. And in some cases, I did 3 or 4 of them, and I've literally posted all of them. So I just have to thank you, Patreons, for being so freaking understanding about that. I've got to be so careful promising stuff in the future because I had no idea how much work that was going to be, and which I'm happy to do. I'm happy to do the work. I tend to underestimate how much work these things are. So. Is River Songs already got theirs on the voicemail? Very good. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Danish Duckling. My mind is blown knowing a greatest sci-fi actor of all time is a Twitch streamer. I've been a fan for decades. Oh, thank you, Danish Ducklings. I gotta say, I do quite like this streaming thing. My son got me into this. My son is upstairs watching not the football. I'm not allowed to say soccer anymore. My son has banned the word soccer from the house. We have to say football now, apparently, because apparently only America and Canada are the losers who use the term football anymore. So tell your son thanks from me. I will, Danish Duckling. Thank you very much. I will do that. Yeah, Baz is his name, or Ham online. Yeah, he's been homesick for like 3 days. So I just returned home with a bunch of supplies, including 2 giant Subway subs that we should not be eating because they're so terrible for you. But he felt like it, and I couldn't stand there and watch them make one for Baz and then watch my son eat it. So I got 2 of them, and I've had one too. So I'm in jolly good spirits now because I got some food. I'll fade very soon, I'm sure, because I've slept like about 2 hours in the last God knows how long. But anyways, being a perfectionist is a terrible burden. This is the problem, Nixie Geek. I mean, I'm not a perfectionist. It's an ADHD thing. I know I was diagnosed with ADHD, and that is obviously a big part of it. But it's like, what is it? Perfect is the enemy of good. And I'm obsessed with this idea that sometimes you just have to assume that things aren't going to be perfect. I mean, you don't want to get into this sort of like, my joke sometimes in Canada, sometimes we get into this sort of like, good enough. I guess you everywhere, but I sort of notice it in Canada sometimes. That I find myself sort of, going like, we could be doing that better. Healthcare, for example. And I just feel like, I feel sometimes that paralyzes me, and I just don't get. Sometimes it always paralyzes me. I never get stuff done. So you'll love this. Cal and I think I've roped Cal into helping me out with some stuff, with some not cameo stuff, but some cameo like stuff, because I just get so many people asking me to do little videos or recordings and stuff, and it seems to mean a lot to people, and I want to be able to give everyone everything they want. And it just makes sense to maybe try to make that sort of official in some way. And then I can use it to help Tech Bandits and all that kind of stuff. Well, help Tech Bandits, help me, help me survive while I do Tech Bandits. There you go. There's that too. XF Kirsten, thank you very much. Subscribing for 18 months. Wow. You've listened to me prattle on for 18 months. That's extraordinary. What is James Gurney? Poor Cal. I know, James. I know. But she seems willing. We had like a great little brainstorming session the other day, and she seemed to actually, I mean, dare I say, slightly positive. Cal, is that the way? Could that be true? Quick question: Brazil or Cameroon You're in-game gambling? No, Wolf Pup. You don't gamble. Investing your money's gambling too, to some extent. But start a company. Earn some money the real way, gambling. I'm not telling you who. Brazil or Cameroon? I'd probably go with Brazil, though, wouldn't I? Theolan. Am I saying that right? Theolan. Thank you very much for your subscription. That's very kind of you. Still haven't heard about leadership. Leadership. Let me tell you about leadership. Are we supposed to hear about leadership? Did I promise that too? Oh, God. I promised a book on leadership. That'll be next. First time chat. Starfire. Something like that. My ADHD either lets me procrastinate to the last minute or buy everything needed for a new project and let it stay for X amount of time. Oh my God, that is me in a nutshell. I will go and spend a fortune on projects that will sit there making me feel so guilty. Apparently, so get this. Apparently, I guess we're talking ADHD today, I guess. So apparently with ADHD, it leads to depression and anxiety because you are incapable of coordinating that stuff or planning that stuff properly. You have a tendency to go all in on something and then not be able to finish it. And as a result, you feel bad about it and you feel like a failure. You're like, why are other people able to finish these things and I'm not? And, so there's a lot of that beating yourself up, which I had no idea. In fact, I didn't know this. People with ADHD live shorter lives statistically shorter lives than people without ADHD, because apparently there are so many, you've got depression, anxiety stuff, but you've also got rash behavior. Like you do stupid things, which I do all the time. Luckily, I'm a coward, not just on television. So I tend not to be things that are going to get me killed. But you tend to be a little rash and do things without always thinking. So things like promising everybody personalized voicemail in the hundreds. So, anyways, all right. Oh, my doctor sent me a group therapy thing, ADHD. And last week's topic was emotional reactivity. Emotional reactivity. What does that mean, XF Kirsten? What is that? ADHD. It's hard to weigh tasks and thus prioritize. And of course, we don't live as long. Impulse control is weak. Exactly, Sarah Owen. That's it. Is everyone here ADHD as well? Is it? It's no surprise to any of my friends, family, or anyone I've ever met that I was diagnosed with ADHD. But of course, it was news to me. It only happened fairly recently in the last 5 years or so. We're also more likely to get speeding tickets as an offense. Really? No, I'm like one of the most conservative drivers there are. Same here. ADHD, depression, anxiety, lots of fun, impulsivity. Yeah, claw hand. There you go. I've always sort of considered it a superpower to some extent. Like my lifelong learning is entirely fueled by ADHD, because I'm just fascinated by everything. So, and I like to go down the rabbit hole on every single thing there is. So, but again, there's only so many things and only so far you can go. You know what I mean? So that's why we have people like James R. Gurney here, who are just far, far smarter than me, who can answer questions and things. So, and of course the fabulous Gimpy G as well, if he's around. I don't know if he's around. Hi, Cal. I don't know if Cal's here, but I'm just gonna say hi. Hey, is that? I can't tell. Is that like one of your little lizard things, James R. Gurney? What are they called? They're the kids are obsessed with them in California because they're not allowed to have them. They're not allowed to have these things in California. What are they called, James? They're axolotl. That's it, axolotl. So they're not allowed them in California. Apparently they're seen as an endangered species. Of course, you can get them up here. You can get them on freaking Kijiji up here. But I wondered about getting them because they're fascinating. You can sort of lop off arms and stuff, and they grow back. Not that I would lop their arms off or anything, but if it happened to happen, it would be cool to see it grow back and things. Alyssa LG, how are ya? How is life with you, Alyssa? Go for Fluffernuts, saying hello. Dr. 20 Kevin says, as a child, I was tested several times because many thought I had ADHD, but no one could confirm it. A fried? I guess that's it's a friend who is, who I guess who has Asperger's, believes that I could also be one. Here's the other problem, though, of course, is that as soon as you have something, you assume everyone else does as well. You start diagnosing everyone as well. It's very difficult. You got to be careful not to self-diagnose things. And the other thing is that and the thing that I'm learning more and more in life is I think this almost applies to everything now. Everything's a spectrum. Everything's like, some people are ADHD in some ways and then not in others. And some people are really ADHD in other ways and also in other ways. There's just a lot going on. I had an axolotl in the UK, named him Jeffrey. They are quite interesting pets. Believe me, but they're a little stinky though, aren't they? James, yeah, I think you've had them. So do they? My concern is that I don't want that horrible fishy smell. I can't stand that. I wouldn't be able to put up with it. You should grow a beard, one year, not shave or trim beard. Oh my God. Yeah, and then I would be single because my wife would. I should probably shave this tonight actually because Jane's coming back from England tonight, and she's not a big fan of my beards or mustaches. So maybe I should have a mustache when she comes back. Oh, she'll hate that. I could do a really good handlebar one right now. James Argreen. Nah, he didn't spell. Oh, okay. So maybe it is worth having it then. So I recently got my HEDS, which is a hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Well, I don't even know what that means. And apparently ADHD is a very common thing to have along with it. Of course, I didn't get either diagnosis or my autism diagnosis until I was in my 30s or 40s, his Riversong. Wow. Yeah. So I'm in my 50s and they finally tell me that. Oh, mass cleanup time because the missus is coming home. The missus is coming home. It's true. Oh my God, that's right. I got laundry to do. What am I doing talking to you for? Okay, David, if Brazil loses, I'm blaming it on you. What? No. Oh man, don't bet. Don't bet, Wolf Pup. It's a terrible idea. Mexico is thrashing Saudi Arabia right now. Is that right? Hello, go for Fluffernut. Hello, Claire Burr. All right. So there's a couple little techie things that I wanted to look into that I'm going to just do right now. That I thought was some interesting things that we thought we might want to talk about, or at least look into. So, what have we got? Let me see here. I don't really want to talk about Twitter. I've been looking into Twitter a bit, but I yikes, you know what I mean? Like I just don't. I don't think it's worth going that. One of the things that's come up obviously is that Apple and Elon Musk seems to be feuding with Apple about, because apparently I think they've pulled their advertising, as a lot of people have as well. Also, the other thing that I just saw recently was like, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but is it true that Twitter's pulling their COVID misinformation stuff? Apparently, there was a thing where they said, like, if there was COVID misinformation would be pulled apparently, but there's like the rules have been taken out apparently or something. I don't know. I never know what's going on anymore. I almost feel like I sort of can't be bothered. I don't feel like we're ever going to get. I don't know when you're. I'm not sure if we're ever going to get the truth on a lot of this kind of stuff. So, all right. So any Twitter stuff, any tech stuff that anyone wants to talk about. Any tech stuff worth bringing up? Any tech news or anything anyone's got? I'm noticing a complete and utter backlash against crypto of any sort right now. I feel sorry for anybody who's trying to do any of that kind of stuff right now because it just looks like an absolute disaster. Did I miss the puppy? Was there a puppy? The puppy's lying by my feet. I don't know. Let's see if you can see if I can do the puppy without disconnecting anything. Oh, maybe I can't. Can you see there? Can you see a bit of a puppy there? Nope, that's my coffee. Hey, Za. Za? Don't get up. I've just had her on a walk. So she's probably like, you know what? Buzz off, David. You've walked me. I'm exhausted. I'm going to sleep here on the floor. At least she's sleeping on the floor. How are your mushrooms? They were delicious, James. I actually ate them. I had them for breakfast, and they were absolutely delicious. I have since I've cut them all off. I've flipped it, cut the package, so in the hopes that it will now grow out the other side as well, and we'll get some more, so we'll see. But in fact, what I should do, which I haven't done, is I should probably take a little sample of it and put it in some agar and get that growing as well. So it does look a little different, doesn't it? It does look a little different here, Jeff. Yeah, first off, I've tidied up a bit because we have done renovations. There's a lot of the renovations are done now. I had to move the 3D printer. So get this, I had to move the 3D printer back into the room because, and I'm using the penguin. Notice that I'm using the penguin for. Let's see if I can show you. So the penguin here. Penguin. See the penguin? So I've actually got filament wrapped around the penguin's antlers because, you know, all penguins should have antlers. And so I was using that the other day to get my little keychains printed out. So I finally. So one of the other things I had on my list of things to do, which I've been dying to get right, is to. It was a very, very simple process, but I just wanted to create something from scratch in Fusion 360 with 2 colors. And that was one of the things that I was kind of excited to do, was to sort of create 2 components and put them together. And so I basically just recreated one of these little keychains that a friend of mine was promoting. What is it called? It's yellow ribbon keychains. It's Amy Math. I can look her up. She was doing this mental health and suicide awareness thing, which basically it was a lot of positive words, things that made you happy. You would put on this keychain, and so I put TechBanditry because that makes me happy. Let me see if I can do this. It was the yellow ribbon 3D print, I believe. 3D print. Let's have a look here. Oh, there you go. The guy. Is this it here? This could be the one. Is this the one? I believe it might be. I'm having a look now. Don't know why I'm talking like this. What have we got? Is this them? Is this the one that has... Yeah, I mean... oh, there she is. There you go. Okay, yes, let me see if I can pull this up. Let me get out of the way. Hello. And let me bring up this instead. Me sharing Chrome is what it's called, so there should be a Chrome in there. Let me see what Chrome is showing right now. There you go. This is the one. There you go. So let me show you. Let me show you this. So these are them. So they're just these little keychains, which are kind of fun. Ooh, Lego. Don't start me on Lego. I got Christmas coming up, and the last thing I need is Lego. I don't need more projects to do. So it's a dream, believe, hope, smile. I mean, I create. They're just a series of keychains just to sort of remind people that you know, all is not terrible. And a lot of people have supported it. And it was created by Amy here, who's done a fantastic job. Not Amy. Abby. Abby Math. That's it. Abby Math. Abby. I don't know why I'm saying Amy for some reason. And then, of course, we've got lots of ads for things that I really don't need. Okay. Anyway, so that's those are the keychains. Kind of cool. I did one that was a little more disco, shall we say? Just a slightly more disco version of what they were doing. Let me see if I can pull it up. See if I've got that for you as well. I gotta say, so Jane's coming back tonight, but it's just been really horribly nice having the kid homesick. I gotta say, I think he should be homesick all the time. Quite enjoy it. I'm sure he would disagree, but it's just kind of nice. It's just kind of nice. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, by the way, you want to see the mushrooms? Oh, I'll show you the mushrooms, James. Check these out. Check these out. Those are the mushrooms. So I got a bowl of mushrooms out of my first group there, and they were just butter, a little bit of salt. Oh my God, absolutely delicious. I had them with some sausages and eggs in the morning. Oh, delicious. And let me find the little thing for you. There's my raccoon friend. There's my disastrous Twitter. Disastrous Twitter. It is my disastrous Twitter. My disastrous 3D print. There's a more successful. There you go. That's the one. So I did a very glitzy glam one. I don't know if you can see it, but I did a very glitzy glam version. So I did sparkles all around the outside, and then a sparkly purple on the inside, which is kind of fun. So that's what I did. I loved having my children home from school. I never wanted summer break to end. Not really. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. I mean, I guess I get more done. The being home part, he likes maybe so much. Not so much the sick part. It's so true, Randy the Magic Man. Randy the Magic Man, we got to talk. I apologize. I keep meaning to schedule you for some point to talk about escape rooms and stuff like that. James, I ran out of brown sauce this weekend. Luckily, I'm going to the UK at Christmas. Yeah, James, you should have told me. And then I would be useless to you because Jane's coming home tonight. Jane's bringing me Marmite. That's what she's doing tonight. She's going to bring me Marmite. Did you hear that Tesla is adding the ability to make Zoom calls with dashboard computer? You must be parked, though. Huh. I mean, I don't think I could buy a Tesla right now. I don't know why. I feel I loved the Tesla. We rented a Tesla to travel around during the summer, and I absolutely loved that vehicle. But I don't know. I don't want to give that guy money right now. It's a bit weird. I know, Randy. I know it's entirely on me. Absolutely. But I just so you know, I do want to do it. As always, there's always a billion other things I want to do. Marmite. For the win. No kidding. My favorite spready thing ever. Dixie Geek. Yes, I'm with you. Pirate Pup. There's a Pirate Pup in here. Make an adopt keychain. Make an adopt keychain? What does that mean? What's an adopt keychain? The Ryan Pyros. David, I'm an IT pro from Michigan, USA, that specializes in virtualization. There are some cool things to talk about in that arena, along with the new USB 4 standard. Now here's the question though. Will that USB 4 standard be allowed on the iPhones? Because the iPhones, haven't they just had to sign something in Europe that says that they're only going to use USB 3 or something? They're going to standardize on that for a bit. For adopting cats and dogs. Well, I did one better than print a 3D. This is my second pound rescue lying at my feet right now. I'll tell you, the first one was a lot less of a hassle. Nixie Geek's going to send James some brown sauce. There you go. Is that USB-C? Yeah, absolutely. The Ryan Pyros, thank you very much. That is interesting. I don't know much about USB 4. I don't think I've actually. I don't think I've had a chance to play with USB 4 yet. I guess that goes on my list of things I gotta do. Oh boy. All right. USB 4. What's the stats on that? USB 4. Okay. So let's see if I know. You can't daisy chain it? Really? What? What do you mean? The USB 4 protocol is based on the Thunderbolt protocol. Thunderbolt 3 specification was donated to the USB by Intel. The USB 4 architecture can share a single high-speed link with multiple end devices dynamically, best serving each transfer by data type and application. In contrast to prior USB standards, the USB 4 mandates the exclusive use of the Type-C connector. Yay! And mandates the use of USB PD for power delivery. I don't know what that means. I guess power delivery. USB 4 products support 20 gigabytes a second throughput and can support 40 gigabytes throughput. But due to tunneling, even nominal 20 gigabytes a second can result in higher effective data rates in USB 4 compared to USB 3.2 when sending mixed data in contrast to 3.2. It's always tunneling of DisplayPort and PCI Express. Always tunneling, so I guess you always have access to that throughput, I guess. Wow. That does sound cool. When's that coming out? Is that out? Has it just come out? It's designed 3 years ago. Dalen, is gifting subs. Thank you so much. To Travaro. Hello, Travaro. Nah, I'll survive. Reduces my likeness to eat a fried breakfast on a Sunday. Come on, James. That's what Sundays are for, fried breakfast. Damn it, man. All right, what do we got? A plus for keeping yourself healthy. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, James. Apparently I'm awesome, says Pirate Pup, which is great. Adoption rocks. I adopted all my 3 beagles. Best buddies ever. Yeah, I mean, my dog is driving me crazy right now because she's not sleeping at night. She keeps eating just horrible things. I don't even know what they are in some cases. She goes in, like, I'm constantly watching her with my eagle eyes. But as soon as I look away, she comes back chomping on something like, some kind of fertilizer or something that which is all horrible for her. She then gets really sick and makes her deposits in the basement at night. And I get to clean them up in the morning. It's lovely. So that's what I've been dealing with, along with a poor sick kid. So, hola Technos, JC Slicer. Travaro, thanking Theolin for the subs. Thank you very much. All right. Let's get some tech bandits in here. I want to talk some tech. Let's get some tech talking going on here. Got tech banditry to do. Damn it. I wonder who's. You know what? I should let everyone know on the server that I'm doing this, because it occurs to me that hello everyone. Live now doing tech bandits if you're interested. There you go. Oops. If you're interested. All right. Well, they know where to go. Do they know where to go? Do I need to put in a link? Oh, boy. I guess I should. This is where James laughs at me, because I always put in HTTP twitch.tv. What am I? David I. Hewlett? David I. Hewlett, isn't that right? Live now doing. Good enough. All right, done. I'm going to send that to 31 people. Sending it now. There you go. All right, let's do this. Let's go to the bigger server now and do the same thing. Let everyone know. Here we go. Done. All right, and now let's go into the chat and see what's going on here with the kids.
Hello.
Is that a vibe pup in the wild?
1 second. I have the stream open. Okay, hello?
You've got a stream open? Are you streaming at the same time?
I had your stream open on the side.
So I was going to get horrible echoes and stuff.
Yeah.
I got a delicious coffee, and I've been putting the worst stuff in it because it's all just sugar, but it's like this sweetened almond milk with that it tastes like vanilla. It's so good. So good. It's like it turns my coffee into a milkshake, basically. Why are my ears hurting so much with my damn glasses right now? I got my glasses.
But basically, the reason why I asked you who is likelier to win is because Call of Duty has a thing where it's called support a team, where you support the team, and then if they win, you get stuff.
Oh, really?
In-game stuff. Yeah.
So you're supporting Brazil.
Brazil. I have lost every single one.
Really?
So,
well, who else have you voted for?
I don't know. I'm not really into the World Cup. I just kind of picked the name that looks soccer-y.
But you didn't know any of the teams?
Nope.
You should have asked Ham. He knows everything about this stuff now. He's like turning into a total football fan. You have to say football now because I'm not allowed to say soccer anymore because I get in trouble. Apparently, football is we use the term football in Canada and in America. Everywhere else in the world uses the term. Sorry, what did I say? No, we use soccer in Toronto, in Canada, and in America. The rest of the world uses the term football, so we have to start using football apparently.
I'm sorry if I'm being very quiet. I've been doing really bad in Call of Duty, and suddenly this one match I'm doing.
No, do your thing. It's always dual screening. That's fine. All good.
I'm actually doing really good in this match, so my brain is very excited.
So concentrate on your excited brain. I'm going to tell people while you're doing that about. I was watching a Mark Rober video the other day about. I don't know if you've seen the one about the egg drop. Have you seen that one?
I watched a bit of it, but my attention span wasn't big enough.
It's pretty cool because they at the very, very end. So he had a lot of problems with this thing, but near the very end of this video, Mark Rober, who if you don't know it, go check him out on YouTube. He's absolutely fantastic.
Full boxes.
And Vibe Yeah, Vipup is doing his Crunch Labs.
that I
boxes.
need to do.
Are you getting behind on them?
No, there's only 2.
Isn't there one where you drop a ball and it bounces? It automatically bounces it in different directions and stuff for you?
I think so. I think that's the one that I just got.
That looks really cool. I gotta say, you got to film that one for me? Actually, you should film all of them for me, even the broken ones. I want to see all little. Give me some footage of that stuff, whenever you can, when you're not playing Call of Duty.
I'll show them off. Like, if you want, I'll just show them off. But I've already built some of them,
That's
I
fine.
don't think
That's totally fine. I just want to see what they look like and how you enjoyed. Like, I'd love to get your review of the stuff, like what you think of it.
If you want, we'll do another one where I just like get them all out and I wear the raccoon suit.
Perfect. Dress as a raccoon, and you'll be our raccoon, like reporter on the scene. You'll be like our raccoon on the scene, telling us about the Crunch Labs thing. All right, perfect. Let's aim for that next week then, if you can.
I'll try.
Dust off that raccoon outfit, and we'll get our.
Actually, that was my Halloween outfit.
That's perfect though. That's like it was genius. I think it's absolutely genius. Like to do that, to have our. I love the idea that our tech reporter. You're our tech reporter. That our tech reporter is dressed as a raccoon. I think is just a brilliant. Like that's your genius for coming up with that.
You should actually say that to my mom. It was her idea. I was just gonna wear a mask over my face.
Your mother's a genius, but you were gonna wear a raccoon mask, right?
No, I was just gonna wear a dog mask because I didn't have a raccoon mask.
Well, I guess you're Vibe Pup. I suppose you're allowed to dress as a dog. I suppose I suppose that's all right. All right, I'll take it. I take it back. All right, your mother's a genius. But anyways, all right.
I will tell her that it is her birthday today.
Is it? Oh, happy birthday, Mom. That's great. What are you doing playing? Shouldn't you be like singing her happy birthday and making her cakes and crap like that?
She's going out.
Oh, that's her. So her present is to get away from you and to get out and have a grown-up night. There you go. That's good.
Yes.
Well, happy birthday to her, and do thank her for coming up with the raccoon thing. I think that's freaking genius. Absolute genius. So. I don't stream in the raccoon suit, but I could. If I got a raccoon suit, I suppose I could stream in a raccoon suit. I have no shame. But I just like the fact that Vibe Pup is our raccoon reporter on the scene that can do our product reviews for these Crunch Lab kids, which look amazing. I gotta say, they just look like a lot of fun. But the egg drop thing was fascinating to me because what happened was that the idea of the design was that he wanted to drop an egg from space. Effectively, how do you get an egg to drop from space, land on Earth, and not break? So he wanted
put it in a rocket ship.
So he did exactly. So he did it in a rocket ship, and the idea was he was going to take this air balloon. The air balloon was going to take this little rocket up to basically the beginning of outer space, and then drop the rocket.
Wait,
at the.
I have a quick question.
Yeah,
Does the egg have to be intact?
Yes. I don't think a scrambled egg is what they're looking for. They're looking for an egg still in the shape of an egg, I believe. Not cracked or anything. Like, it literally has to be like, And eggs are surprisingly tough, but they're also very easy to break. In fact, Mark Rober broke one of the eggs. I was like, really? You only brought one egg? But he brought an egg and he broke the egg on one of his first attempts, right? Like, trying to get the egg. He put the egg in the rocket ship and then dropped it out of the rocket ship and it broke. But it was an interesting video because they had a lot of problems. Like, he looked pissed off, didn't he? Like, he looked like he was like done with this egg drop thing.
And I think he looks very annoyed in it.
Doesn't he? Well, but one of the things that came up, which I thought was fascinating, Baz and I were like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. So at near like 3/4 of the way through the video, you got to check that out. About 3/4 of the way through the video. What's going on, Cal? Cal's sending out my email. Very good. Yes, I have a forward-facing email for the web. Thank you so much, Cal. Appreciate it. As always, Cal, ladies and gentlemen, Cal. I'm not going to tell you it's her birthday because she gets embarrassed about that. So Mark Rober is about 3/4 of the way through this video. And he's like, how do we make this work? And he calls to check in with one of his old NASA friends. And NASA, he was one of the guys who was like responsible for putting, I don't know, one of the rovers on Mars or something.
Yeah, he was basically just making a guided missile.
That was it. So the NASA guy goes like, well, wait a second, what are you doing? He goes, well, we're gonna drop this egg in a rocket, and we're trying to we want the rocket to auto guide itself down to this mattress. And he says, well, how big's the mattress? He said, well, it's like the size of a house. He goes, so you want to create a rocket that can be guided directly into something the size of a house, and you don't think you're going to jail for that? Like, you're literally creating a cruise missile, right? Isn't that it? Like, they're basically, maybe not a cruise missile, but they're developing a self-guided missile. So big deal that you don't break the egg. You'd go to jail because the military would move in and go like, oh my God, these guys have created like a guided missile. And it was so funny because I hadn't thought of it. And obviously neither had Mark or any of the people who were working for him, because we're all such like naive little nerds. We didn't think about the negative side of it, right? If he puts out a video, I mean, imagine that. He puts out a video that tells you how to make a guided missile. You don't think that think about the repercussions of that. But it raises a really interesting point, is that people create technologies without thinking about what is the repercussion on society going to be? And I'm not saying you shouldn't create stuff, because I think if you don't create it, someone else is going to. Far better that you create it, but that you also, as part of the creation process, you start thinking about how that technology can be misused as well as how it can be well used. Because I think we have a tendency to be very sort of positive and excited and passionate about this stuff. We're like, woohoo, we're going to build this thing and it's going to get this egg and the egg's going to land exactly in a mattress and it's going to be so precise. It's going to work so well. And then it just takes, a military guy to go, dude, you pack that with explosives and you could start blowing up things from space. Like, that's freaking terrifying. But here's my question, Vibe Pup. Couldn't you do that anyways then?
You could kind of just say, I want to explode something and explode it, but wait, I just want to say, do not explode stuff. That is not... No,
we're not
legal advice. Don't make a cruise missile.
We are not condoning that in any way, shape, or form. Tech Bandit is not about blowing stuff up without, doing...
Except when it is about blowing stuff up.
Except when it's about blowing stuff up or cannibals, that kind of stuff. But again, all the, obviously you have to be smart and safe and all this kind of stuff. But the reality is, judging by what I saw there, Vibe Pup, do you think, I think it would be possible for someone to create a guided missile, couldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they were saying that they send up like 2,000 weather balloons every day. Like, what's to stop someone from just putting a missile on one of those and taking it up and having it, I'm not saying anyone should do that. But again, technology-wise, how do you protect yourself against when technology becomes that? I mean, perfect example would be, the war in Ukraine right now. Like, the amount of there's missiles, obviously. The Russians are throwing a lot of missiles at people, but the drones are a big part of it, right? On both sides now, don't they have drones that are like, like they'll fly like just a regular old drone with a bunch of explosives on it and blow up, a Russian military vehicle and all that kind of stuff. Like, this technology is like off the shelf. This is like off the shelf drone technology, right? I mean, how do we protect ourselves against something like that?
You don't.
Oh, so what do? Just give up?
Here's what I'm going to say.
All right. What do you got?
If something like that happens, it's not a civilian's job to go around and fix it. It's the military at that point.
But what if the military doesn't fix it? Or what if the military has the wrong approach? Like, I mean, the military would just say, okay, no one's allowed to fly anything.
Then if they don't do it right, then you're screwed.
I know here, it used to be when you had drones, you could just fly anything you want whenever you want. But then idiots were doing things like flying drones downtown, and then they'd lose control and they'd take out small children or land in, land in airports and all that kind of stuff. Like this, like it is illegal to fly drones around airports, right? I believe that's the case. I think that probably is a universal thing, is it not? I would think. What is this? Hi, I want to offer a promotion of your channel. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh my God. My first time chat is selling me Doge. Pancreatitis. I seem to remember it being an I in there. Pancreatitis, anyways. I'm sure it was World War II. They tried homing pigeon bombs. Yeah. So they had pigeons.
Wait, I wanna try to pronounce him.
Yeah, go. What do you got?
Let's see if I can pronounce it right. Anquiatus.
Anquiatus.
Okay, let's see if that's
Oh,
right.
right. So it's not. It's the EY, not the EYE. So
I got it right.
Anquiatus.
I got it right.
Anquiatis. There you go. The evil technology. It's listening to us. Exactly, Randy the Magic Man.
Don't explode stuff.
Don't explode stuff. Yes, I think we've agreed on that. But if you were going to explode stuff, how
David,
would we
we're
stop?
not exploding stuff.
But how would we stop people from exploding stuff?
Explode stuff before they explode stuff.
What? So blow them up first?
Yes.
Really? So how do you do that?
No, I was joking.
Well, but it's an interesting point though, because that's why we have this nuclear missile proliferation thing, right? It's like the U.S. have them, so Russia's got to have them, so China's got to have them, so North Korea wants to have them, so everyone, like Iran wants them. Everyone wants them because then they become a nuclear power that people have to they are forced to go to the table and negotiate with, right? But if you're talking about little cheap bombs, like how do you stop that kind of stuff happening? Now, I wonder, like, is there a way, like, do you have things there? There must be technology that can scramble drones. I know that, you know what there are? Have you seen these,
Down the drone.
Have you seen these special drones that take out drones? Let me see if I can find it for you. Drone.
I've seen eagles that do it.
Yeah, well, well, that's an interesting point. So you could basically bring back the eagle and, yeah.
Or just make, as I'm going to call it, self-termination drones.
Would they just blow themselves up if they are in the wrong place?
No, it's just drones that go up and explode the exploding drone, the other exploding drone.
Well, here's what someone else has done. See what you think of this. No, I don't want that. I want this one here. Is that the one? Is that the one? What the heck? What the heck? For God's sake, what am I doing? Let's have a look.
But basically, no, if you just explode the exploding drone.
Explode the exploding drones? We've got to explode the exploding drones. Yes. So you're taking out the drones.
I don't know if I'm just going crazy in the middle of TechBanditry.
Too late. Too late. You've already gone crazy.
Okay, I can't speak. 1 second. I need to learn how to speak.
Too excited to speak. Got it.
If you explode the exploding drone, which drone is exploding? Is it the good drone?
Well, no, you want to blow up the bad drone, don't you? Isn't that the idea?
If there's nothing bad going on, like if you explode the drone and then like nobody gets hurt, you didn't do anything bad, but you just saved somebody and made them have to take a couple minutes out of their day to make it again.
You mean so they could have other ones? They could replace it with another one once you've blown it up, basically. What about this? Have you seen this? This is a drone catcher. I can't show it to you because I'll get nailed for that. But basically, this is a drone that fires a net, which takes out other drones, right? But then how do you stop that? So then they make a drone that takes out drones that catch drones. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like...
Then you take a drone taker down, or that's a drone. You just have to kind of...
But you know what I mean? Though, but then you get into a situation where you're constantly just drones battling... Oh my God, that's kind of weird, though. That's when you get into, like, sort of like a robot battle.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, total sci-fi. Ooh, drone net. Catching should be a sport. Oh.
That'd actually be cool.
Practicing. Oh, yeah. You could have, like, instead of robot wars, you could have drone wars. And you could, like, fly at each other. You could fly at each other and try to take each other out.
But then
Star Wars. Sorry, I finally got that. Star Wars. Yeah, you're right. It's been done. But that would actually be kind of cool, though. You get, like, a big sky dome type place, like a big domed place, and you put your drone up. I think I would, you know what I would do? I'd create a balloon. I'd create, like, an air balloon, and I'd, like, armor it. And then I'd have, like, machine guns on it. And it would just hang in the middle of the stadium and just take out every other drone as it got anywhere near me. That's what I'd do. Oh, Evolution 219 is a registered drone pilot. But here's the problem with the drone pilot stuff is you can't we have to have licenses here to fly a drone over a certain size, I believe, and you have to apply for permits to fly those drones. But I'm curious to know how many people actually do that. During the pandemic, there was a guy taking these beautiful shots of Toronto, all illegally. Because they're these gorgeous drone shots, but he's flying a drone like around the CN Tower in downtown Toronto, and I'm like, oh my God, if that goes wrong, it's horrible. I get angry when I see helicopters now. Like if I see a news helicopter, I'm like, get out of the sky. Like to me, it's like, why would you risk people's lives? You've got people flying the helicopter, you got people in that helicopter, you got cameramen in the helicopter, and plus you've got all of that debris that would rain down and kill people. There's a problem. Plus, you're flying over an accident scene. I feel like that should all be done by drones, like little tiny drones. And if they fall out of the sky, it's like, ow, but not like, ah, like, so that's the difference for me on that stuff. If a building gets on fire, you can suppose with water, you can put it out with water and gasoline. Water would be the right choice. If you have a war, you can support with diplomacy or weapons. Diplomacy would be the right choice. So I believe sit down on the table and negotiate with diplomacy. Yeah, I agree. Like if you could talk people out of using these things, fantastic. But at the same time, don't we need to sort of prepare for that as well? Like I feel like, if anything, the war in Ukraine, it is a war, but I would say Putin's stupid invasion. I like the reality there is that this is a drone war. I mean, this is like, there's so much drone stuff going on. I feel like it's got to be, the militaries around the world have got to be going like, I guess that's, it's a lot easier than, what's the point of flying planes in there if they're just going to get taken out by people with ground-to-air missiles and stuff like that. Let's just throw some drones in there and do some damage with that, You can't fly anything over 250 grams over here without restrictions. Yeah, that's interesting. Like the doctor says, in the end, you're going to have to do what you had to do from the beginning. Sit down and talk. Yeah, I mean, the hope, again, talking, I'm assuming, is the best approach anyways. And the more we know about the more we, get to know, like, this is my frustration about the planet in general, is like we're divided up into all these little stupid little countries. And the reality is we're just one planet. So maybe we could stop killing each other and figure out how to make the most of this, giant blue planet that we have, that we're currently, basically blowing up. All right, what do we got here? What else have we got on here? I have the GVC, basically professional drone pilot's license here in the UK. Evolution 219. Are drones, a drone flying in the UK? Are they very, very well regulated? They're fairly regulated here. Oh, sorry. Don't listen. I want to see if I can just show you the footage, just like a shot of this drone taking out another drone. Look at this. So, it's actually tracking it. Ooh, it's tracking it itself. That's kind of cool. See if I can. And then the target is brought down by parachute. Ooh. So they net it, and then they parachute down, which is really smart, actually, because the attack drone goes up, throws a net, fires a net at another drone, and then that also has a little parachute on it that means that it just slowly floats down to Earth, which is good because then you can grab the drone, potentially use it against the other people, and also you can maybe figure out where it came from. Of course, the other problem
is... If it has a bomb, then it can just kind of... Boom.
If it has a bomb, you're screwed, aren't you? I mean...
Yeah, because it's already on the ground.
So we need a jammer. We need some kind of a jammer, don't we?
But if you just put the... I was about to say something very stupid, but my brain caught it. I was about to say, if you put the jammer on the drone...
A jammer on the drone, yeah. Did you say drama?
Jammer.
The jammer. Oh, is it the drama? What is he talking about, drama? It's the drama of drones. Okay. So you put the jammer on the drone, but then the drone... How would you not take yourself out?
Yeah.
So as soon as you hit the button, your drone and their drone falls out of the sky.
Yeah, that would actually kind of work.
But why not? Yeah, I mean,
if it's already a one-time use drone,
it could be like a little cheap one too. In fact, it could be a little one that it could be so small it just flies up, sticks to the drone, and then takes it out. In fact, that's probably the best thing you could do. Have a little tiny drone with a little tiny charge on it that flies up, lands on the other drone, and then goes and like fries its electronics or something, right? That'd be cool. A sacrificial EMP. Wow. Get an EMP, that sucker? Yeah. Half of my drones would kill any bird trying to catch it as it has a 5-inch rotor. First person view, I guess drones are really pretty dangerous. Wow. Interesting. Jamming should lead to falling drones. They should stay where they are. Yeah. Actually, that's interesting. So instead of having a parachute, what if you had like a little helium balloon? So you throw the net on it, it catches the evil drone that has the explosives in it, and then it just lifts it up further and further and further and further until you can detonate it from way up where it's not going to hurt anybody. What about that? How about that for a plan?
How do you detonate it, though? But if it explodes, then it's going to be more dangerous because the scrap is falling from higher.
Yeah, but it'd be so small. Like, wouldn't that...
Yeah, but it's getting more velocity.
But it reaches a certain velocity. At some point, it reaches like a term. Doesn't it reach like a terminal velocity?
It reaches a terminal velocity, but if it's not falling at its full velocity, that would do more damage.
Well, it's not going to do more damage than it exploding where it was supposed to, though, right? Isn't that the idea? Like,
it would spread itself out, and it would probably not.
All right, so what if you don't detonate it?
Really...
Like, what if you just attach a giant weather balloon to it, and the weather balloon just goes hoo-yah, and just takes it up, and just keeps going up?
It just stays up in the air.
Yeah, like I mean, they just like I guess you could shoot it down, I suppose, or something. But then it's a blimp. Yeah, there'd be like lots of little explosive blimps like floating around. But I mean, I'm sure there's got to be a system for. Actually, that'd be cool. Like some kind of a thing that latches onto a drone, whips it up really fast, so it's far away from anybody, so that like it grabs it and then like I don't know, like suddenly inflates a balloon and goes shooting up into the sky, and then you could sort of deal with it from there. Maybe it could winch it back up and then burn it up or something, or I don't know. I'm sure there's something you could do with it. Knock it up into space and let Elon Musk's car hit it. That's the way to go, Randy the Magic Man. Hurl it at Elon Musk's floating Tesla. Hello, VCMD Propulsions. How are you? Greetings to you too. Drones that size are called tiny whoops under 25G with camera and sound. There you go. A drone has usually inertial navigation, so even if they have zero signal, they stay in place. Right. A little rail gun. Ooh. Need to worry about commercial flights and whatnot. Well, that's true. That's true. European Space Agency was researching drones in space to catch space debris, as that's a huge problem. You know who's doing that, Nixie Geek, actually. Hello, Gervais. I'm very good, thank you. You know who's doing that is the Woz. Wozniak. Wozniak's, I think, invested in a company that is like space garbage. It literally goes around like a basking shark and opens its jaws and just takes up all of the space debris that there is. But some of that stuff's tiny, right? It only takes a little fleck of paint to put a hole in the space station. Oh, there's some tech. So China's got their own space station, right? You heard about that?
Oh,
yeah.
I did not.
They've just sent 2 astronauts up to their own. I think it's the first 2 astronauts ever to go up to their own space station. But I think like in the span of like 2 years, they built a freaking space station and have it manned already. Like that's insane.
That's actually kind of scary.
The VCMD is going to MIT apparently. VCMD Propulsions still working on their projects. Where's my sonic technology using sound to make things float tractor beam style? I've seen a bit of that. I watched a YouTube video on that where some people were like, we're having things float with sound because of the nature of the sound these things were generating. Oh my god, I'm tired. I've got to start sleeping, Vipup. How many hours a day do you sleep, Vipup? Roughly.
5.
That's it.
I'm not a good sleeper.
We're supposed to sleep apparently we're supposed to sleep like 8 hours a day.
I am not good at sleeping. I will be up. I will just go try to go to sleep at like 9:30, 11, but I won't sleep.
9:30, 11?
Yeah, 9:30 or 11.
That's quite a range.
Yeah, it's.
Captain sleeps 7 to 8 hours. Really? I don't know how to do that. I'm lucky I'm about the same as you, Vipup. I get about 5 hours right now. I go past 3 hours a night very rarely. Wow, evolution's only getting 3 hours a night. Evolution's probably pretty cranky, is my guess. Melatonin, much better sleep. Amy Kitt's now pitching melatonin. So
Makes
melatonin,
me wake up earlier, though. That's the problem with me.
it makes you wake up early.
Yeah, it makes me wake up early. I've tried it.
Sarah Owen is 8 or 9 hours down from 11 or 12. I'm so jealous. Well, they say that you're smarter and happier and will live longer if you sleep longer, apparently.
Well, I hope I start sleeping longer.
I thought people were more naturally made to sleep 4 or so hours at a time, twice a day. Unfortunately, with my chronic illness, I sleep anywhere between not at all or 14 hours. Wow, his River Song's that's quite a combo. Might cause nightmares, I hear. Melatonin causes nightmares? Really?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of things they're like melatonin nightmares.
Really?
Yeah.
I have cheese nightmares sometimes. If I eat what I call stinky cheese, like like the really, really ripe, horrid cheeses, grown-up cheeses that for some reason Baz has always loved, like blue cheese, that kind of stuff. For some reason, if I eat cheese, like a lot of cheese, at night, I have weird dreams. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know what it is. Like they're like mycelium dreams or something. There's like, it's bacteria, isn't it? But it's yeah. For some reason, cheese gives me weird nightmares. Cheese nightmares. I have sugar nightmares. If I eat something too sweet too late, I have weird nightmares. Really? That's interesting. I have a personal relationship with cheese. Yeah, me too, Pirate Pup. I love cheese. You meet Jesus in your dreams. Oh, sweet Jesus. I think Zelenka's your melatonin. Yeah, I don't think so. Because of meds, I can't have any caffeine after 12 p.m. or I won't fall asleep till after 3 a.m. Tried experimenting with for a short while. Yeah, I do coffee way too late, probably. Evolution had a steak with blue cheese sauce. Oh, doesn't that sound good? I just had a freaking Subway sub and I'm hungry again already. You know what I'm making tonight? Ramen.
What?
I'm making ramen with fresh pork. So I'm going to boil the ramen. I'm going to put in some mushrooms. I'm going to put in, what else have I put in? Maybe some leeks, a little bit of onions and stuff maybe. And then I'm going to take little bits of pork and just dip it in and cook it in the ramen. Should be good. So what does melatonin do? Let's see what melatonin does. Apparently, using a screen late at night, the blue from the screen actually interrupts your sleep cycle. Melatonin. The problem with melatonin right now is that I feel like it's one of those, like, it solves everything. Like, everyone's trying to sell you on melatonin type thing. It says it's a hormone.
Apparently, I was talking to people and they said that eating more food actually apparently helps with sleep.
Really?
Yeah, because apparently some foods contain melatonin in them.
Ha. That sort of, I could see that, I suppose. I think it also depends on what type of food. I mean, some stuff, yes. A giant curry meal, I find, just makes my tummy gurgle all night. All right, melatonin is a hormone that your brain produces in response to darkness. So of course you're not producing that if you've got your face in a screen. It helps with the timing of your circadian rhythms, a 24-hour internal clock, and with sleep. Being exposed to light at night can block your melatonin production. Research suggests that melatonin plays important roles in the body beyond sleep. However, these effects are not truly understood. Melatonin dietary supplements can be made from animals or microorganisms, but most often they're made synthetically. The information below is about melatonin dietary supplements. Okay, what do we got? Oh, that's it. For jet lag, everyone's always saying, you got to do melatonin for jet lag. Jet lag affects people who travel by, yes, I know what that is. Okay, studies that showed the total of 142 travelers showed that melatonin may be better than a placebo. That's only 142 travelers? That's it? That's the study? That doesn't seem like a very extensive study. 2 studies. One of them is 142 travelers. One of them is 234. And it says that most of them thought it was better than the placebo. People with delayed sleep-wake phase disorder. Wow. Have trouble falling asleep at the usual times and waking up in the morning. They typically have difficulty getting to sleep before 2 to 6 a.m. and would prefer to wake up around 10 and 1. What's wrong with that? It's like the story of my life. It's called being an actor.
I was trying to say something. Apparently, somewhere in chat, Pirate Pub.
Mm-hmm.
I like the name.
Puff.
It's very close to mine.
Yeah.
They say any sale of melatonin without a doctor prescription is illegal in the UK. It's a prescription-only medicine.
Ah. I don't know what the deal is here or not. Hello,
it's over the counter here.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's melatonin once again. Yeah, very good, Abdus. What do we got? Turning the lights off and your phone and TV off is good for sleep and producing melatonin. You'd think that it's also just good because then you turn it off and you're not watching it. Isn't it? I mean, like, all right. When you eat a lot of food, your stomach works even when you're asleep, so we don't rest the body that much. Oh, that's interesting. Norwegian brown goat's cheese. Oh, that sounds delicious. That does sound really, really good. I feel like in your case, stopping coffee earlier might help. Thank you, Captain Catherine. I don't know what you're talking about. Pygmy goat cheese is the best I've ever had. Really? Wow. The UK likes total control, though. The UK does like its rules, doesn't it? Although, I got to be honest, both Australia and Canada, same thing. Big on rules. Big on rules. Canadian
laws?
Melatonin rules. I'm looking. I spelled rules wrong. Okay. It's first licensed in Canada in 2025 as a natural health product. It is regulated under the Natural Health Products Regulations. Once a product is approved, Health Canada issues a product license and natural product number. Oh. So I guess you don't need... Do you need a prescription for melatonin? Melatonin can be taken to help with difficulty sleeping and is generally available as an over-the-counter medication, meaning a prescription is not required. Huh. There you go. So apparently in Ontario, you don't need a prescription for it. But I don't know, Vibe Pup shouldn't be taking melatonin, though, should they? I mean,
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think you were. But I was saying, you're not going to start taking melatonin or something. It's not. I don't know. You're gambling now, so I don't know. Things have changed.
I'm gambling with no loss. There's no way I can lose stuff because I'm not handing over anything.
Not yet, but soon they'll be there for your house. You wait.
I'm not handing them anything.
So how does this gambling work? Just like randomly, they go hey, what game do you think's gonna win in your game of Call of Duty?
No. Basically, what it is if you scroll. 1 second, I'll share my screen so you can just
sharing screen. Wait a second, can I do that? I'm not sure if I can show that.
You can show my screen.
I'm trying.
It's just on Discord.
Okay, I got to pull up the right window. Let me see if I can get this right. It's like sharing Discord. There you go. Okay. Screen capture, is that what I want? There you go. Let's see this. Right.
It's basically you just show the Discord to.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, tell him.
I think I've got it. Does this do it?
Okay.
Did that do it? Nope. Why is it not showing? Why is it? Shouldn't it be showing?
Just show Discord and it should be good.
I'm trying to do that now. That's so weird. Okay, go. Done.
While you figure this out, I just want to quickly say something to Evolution. Some TVs, I learned this yesterday. My TV actually has an option to turn off the little red light.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the little red light?
You know the little red light that it shows you on the TV?
Yeah. What to show the powers on?
To show the powers off.
Oh, really?
But basically how it works is down here, you go support a team. There's rules. Predict the winners of 6 matches during the event. Earn premium rewards if your chosen team wins. Losers receive a consolation prize. In case of draw, both teams receive premium rewards. Wait. So I've lost every one.
So you win something anyways?
Yeah, I've won. I've lost every one. I did not mean to go to my back. I've lost every one. It didn't even give me a loser medal.
But is there some kind of a tie-in with FIFA, with the football?
Yeah, they have. I'm pretty sure I've heard that they have. I thought people were saying that they had Messi in here.
Really? Messi's got a gun?
I don't know if it's true, but I've seen a lot of people saying that there's Messi in here, and I don't know if it's a joke or not. Yeah, Paul Pogba. I'm pretty sure he's a soccer dude. He runs around with a gun. And Neymar Jr.
Well,
I think people are
Neymar is a soccer
and they both
football player
have very violent finishers.
that involve kicks.
Yeah, like one
Wait, so they're
is
turning footballers into like action like
yeah, one is you
ninjas?
just need one is just you punch them twice and then just knee them in the head. Kind of deals with foot. And then this one I'm pretty sure is you kick their knees and then you like stomp their head like from that motion. So
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
They've kind of just made soccer very violent.
I was gonna say like that feels like a pretty tenuous connection to football. I would say it sounds more like hockey. It's a good point, XF Kirsten. It's so true. So Neymar is like, that's I'll lie down in pain even if nobody touched me. They're all doing that, Anquiatus. They're all like, it's like I should teach acting for soccer players. I mean,
so I'm not trying to make this into a gaming stream, but Tech Bandits, Call of Duty. My brain is melting today.
Hey, Blue Death. Thank you very much. Welcome, Blue Death. Oh my God,
Welcome.
I'm welcoming Blue Death. That just sounds like that sounds like trouble, doesn't it? All right, so what are we gonna say? Now you're decorating your guns. Oh my
Call
God.
of Duty has added a very cool camo system. Oh my gosh, I really like that platinum.
So but do you have to pay for these? You have to buy those extra?
No, all these are free.
And you can decorate them as you see fit.
Basically, what you have to do is you have these. It used to be you had to get all these things on each gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just unlock it for that one gun after you do it all. They made it so each gun has 4 camos.
Oh wow!
And 4 completionist camos, which
so
are
you can combine them together.
No, so basically, if I get this camo for this gun, I can use it on the other gun to take off of the grind. And then they've also added a receiver feature, which is basically you have to play with this gun to get this gun, and with this gun you have to play with it to get this gun, and with this gun you have to play with it to get this gun.
But you can't see. I'd say my most frustrating part about all these games are like I don't want to do the customization that they give me. I want to do my own customization. I want to be able to paint it however I want, and then I want to be able to sell that. I just
want to say people would just be putting phallic pictures on their gun. Right. Yeah,
they would just be like people would be just carrying AK-47 dicks around. And
yes, I didn't want to say that. But
really?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, people would just be running around with just probably even people would take the time to like put naked people on their gun.
Well, yeah, I guess that's
people like to do that.
But I don't know. But you think people shouldn't be allowed to do that?
No, I think.
I mean, I don't mind that kind of stuff. I'd be worried if they start putting like swastikas or something on it. Then
people would do that in seconds. You have a wide variety of camos. Like there's this camo, which I kind of want to get. I like the pink.
That is cool, actually. I really like the pink. But so how do you get the pink? How do you get the pink on that?
So this one you have to get a gun to level 29 and then get 10 point blank kills, which is a mission.
Does that cost you money?
No, completely free.
Does any of this process cost you money? Oh, that's nice. Look at that. That sort of mottled pink. I like that. Yeah.
I like that. Wait, I can actually get that gun.
Can you?
I'm gonna grind for that. I really like that one.
This is interesting though, this concept of grinding, because grinding isn't necessarily pleasant, right? You're having to go and do lots of boring stuff over and over and over again. Is there I'm just curious to know what is the appeal to that? Because Baz will say that too. Baz will grind on games to get things.
You get a
excuse me.
It feels good that at the end of doing all that, you get something out of it. Like you get a cool skin that you get to see every time you play that gun, and nobody can take that away from you unless you die. Then people can take the gun and
they can. So your pink camo gun.
No. I meant
I
that
can kill
when
you and take your pink camo gun.
I still keep the camo. You can just grab the gun and just go around just like for
Ah,
the
I see.
match.
Oh, I see.
Until you die, you have the gun.
So this is stuff. It's not like in Minecraft where they kill you in Minecraft and steal all your stuff.
No.
Okay. All right.
I only have boring camos so far. I have like scales, marsh. I just have like tactical camos, but I want to get a bright pink gun to show everybody where I am.
I like that. Although, yeah, wait, but how does that work? If you've got a bright pink gun, does that mean you're going to be a better target for people? Like, surely that's going to stand out more than your amp.
That's not really how Call of Duty works though. Everybody is just focused on see a dude, shoot a dude, see a dude, shoot a dude.
But would you stand out more? Like if you've got a luminous orange gun or a luminous pink gun, luminous? Am I saying that right? Like a very bright colored gun. Isn't that going to catch people's eyes faster, make you more of a target?
Yes and no. In Call of Duty, there are people who just they see a sliver of movement and they're already locked onto you and shooting.
And when you say people, you mean you?
No, I'm terrible at this game.
Really?
Yes.
Why? What's the deal?
I'm used to run and gun. Well, they've toned down the game. So I'm like running face first into fights while they are taking it slow.
Right. Okay. So you have a tendency just to go blasting in there.
Yeah, but I am very angry that I have to do this. But to get a skin with this gun, I have to use a sniper. But I'm not good with snipers, so I have to.
I always liked the snipers. I always preferred being a sniper. I sucked at it too.
I don't like it. It's not my gameplay. I have to, because there's a bunch of different maps in the game which are normally small, so you kind of have to get in the corner and just wait. And I don't like camping.
Right.
Extremely.
Oh yeah, you hate camping. That's right, and that's all I ever do.
But I have to camp, so it's actually really
it's forcing
annoying
you
me.
to do what you know. Is that what you would call grinding?
Yes, doing something that you hate is basically grinding.
Oh wow, Bobcat63 just had surgery and is binge watching all of Stargate Universe. That's only 2 years. So that's like, what is that? That's like 20 episodes. What is that? 40 episodes? That's like. Well, good luck with the surgery. I hope that worked out for you, Bobcat. I would personally watch Atlantis, but that's just me. He did mean Bobcat just said, I did mean Atlantis. There you go. I was like, Universe? What the hell? I only did one of those. That you can watch that in one episode. That's like 1 hour right there.
I just want to say, I'm just going to give a quick rundown of Tech Bandits because.
Oh, what do you got? Yeah, why people
there's somebody in chat who is asking who you're talking to.
Oh yeah.
It is Tech Bandits where he comes in and gets like kids' opinion on like topics about science and stuff, and is trying to get kids interested in learning. And it is me playing Call of Duty, and I'm just showing him how bad I am at the game right now.
Yeah, because what's great is that I get to learn a whole bunch of stuff too. Like I'm the old guy who gets to learn about.
Wait, I should probably mute the game so I don't have to hear
people. Do you hear people yelling and stuff in the game?
Yeah, it's very funny in Warzone. It's because they added proximity chat that you can't really turn off. So you'll be walking around and you'll just hear a guy just yelling at his teammate.
So you can't choose not to. Well, I mean, other than just turning off the sound, I guess. But I'm assuming
if you don't turn off the mic, then
you need to talk to your roommates, though. I mean, your roommates, your playmates.
Then you toggle your mic. Yeah, this is kind of what leveling this gun is.
Think that was meant for someone else. What? How do I contact him? Who are you trying to contact? What's going on? Really hope you're healing up well. Yes, SG1 coming off Netflix tomorrow. Really? Wow. That was the wrong thread. Ignore me being incompetent in chat. It's okay. His river song. I'm fine. You're forgiven. All I do is screw things up. It's fine. Okay. It is very confusing. The chat is very confusing. Look at me. I'm confused already. Pull up. Very good. I don't play shooters, but I love sniping in other games. I mean, who doesn't become the sneak archer in Skyrim? There you go. Skyrim. That's a long way back.
Okay, you guys said sneak, so I'm gonna try to sneak.
Sneak. How could you sneak in the middle of the room like that? You're like standing in the middle of the hallway. Oh, how do you know where they're coming from?
I don't. They have put up a counter UAV, so I don't know anything right now.
A counter what?
UAV, so I have no information where people is, except who
Okay.
keeps throwing jill charges at the store?
Oh. Oh! Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Got him.
So, how much of this is real?
What do you mean, real?
Well, I mean, like, are these real weapons? Are they real technology? I mean, is this real? Are you
They're
learning?
based off real weapons. They didn't want to pay the.
Oh.
You have to pay money to get the gun, so they just kind of said, "This AK gun is the B whatever B whatever comes after K."
I
I'm
see.
not.
All right, okay. So they make it because wait a sec. So they'd have to license the likeness
Yeah.
of the gun.
Yeah.
Shut
my-
the front door.
I'm-
Seriously?
Yeah, they have to.
Wow. So they just make them up.
Yeah, so they just kind of take what the gun looks like and just say, "This isn't the AK. This is the 3 gun. The gun is
I
just
have to
3."
stop watching because I realize I'm getting sick.
There's actually a setting to help with motion sickness.
Yeah, it's called not watching it. All right. No, because I'm watching it in my stream. You see, it's in my stream window while I'm looking at the chat. So it's like I can't get away from it. It's so bad. I used to be able to do this a little bit, at least a little bit. Now the motion sickness is so bad, like it's forget it. I can't even just for seconds. All right, Gimpy G's GoFundMe. Yes, please, please, please go check that out. I haven't spoken to him for ages. I don't understand what's going on. I think we're like ships in the night. I send him a message on Discord and then I get something. I see him on Twitter and stuff, but I don't know what's going on. So maybe he's not checking his Discord. I don't know. I prefer a good puzzle game or Myst. Oh, I used to love Myst. Such a beautiful game. Have we heard from Gimpy lately? Well, don't worry, Sarah. It sounds like he's okay because he was posting pictures of like Christmas decorations and stuff. So I think he's all right. Watching someone play is more disorienting due to you not being able to charge of which way the view is heading. Well, there's that, and there's also the fact that I have it's like a slight vertigo thing, which just drives me crazy. He doesn't seem to be responding on Discord anymore. Oh, really? Oh, so how are you getting in touch with him, James? Because I guess maybe he hasn't logged into Discord in a while or something. Maybe I'll try to get him on Twitter because I can DM him on Twitter. Cool. All right. Let me just see if there's any tech stuff that came up that I wanted to look at. If you don't mind. I'm just going to have a quick look at that. Let's have a look here.
I do have a slight idea of what we could talk about.
Oh, what do you got?
Not about games. Our school has been trying to prepare us for job interviews.
Oh, yeah? Like doing like resumes and stuff? What are you doing?
No, not even that. They're just kind of getting us used to talking, like presentating and trying to sell ourselves type thing.
Oh, yeah?
Not like
how's that
sell
going? ourselves out. Sell yourselves out. I'll give you $100. So how's that going? Like, what have you learned from it?
It was that, and that was our math class, by the way.
Right. So your math class is learning how to sell yourself to employers.
Resume.
The funny thing is, it's harder, I think, for employers to find employees now than it is for employees to get jobs. There's so many jobs out there apparently right now. AI's new creative streak sparks a Silicon Valley gold rush. Oh my gosh, you watch film and TV, you'll be all over that. Self-taught AI. How to stop robots from becoming racist? Well, we should stop giving them racist data, shouldn't we? Isn't that basically what happens there?
Wait, can you say that again?
It says, how do we stop robots from becoming racist?
Just don't be racist to ourselves.
Well, that exactly. But the problem is a lot of the data we have is all biased and in some cases just straight out racist, right? So if all of these AI models are being taught on data that's already, skewed, towards white people, then then the robots and the AI are going to process it as if that was the way it should be. The other thing that's kind of interesting about AI right now is there's a new copyright law. Well, they're trying to put it through basically. There's a class action lawsuit filed by in a federal court in California, and it's about a GitHub thing called Copilot, which is a powerful tool that automatically writes working code when a programmer starts typing. So the idea is that it's being given all of the programming code that's being written on GitHub, and it's using that to basically.
Oh no! Is it stealing people's games?
Well, the problem people are saying is, wait a second, who owns that data? Like if everyone's using this GitHub to post their code, and then GitHub is going through all of that data and using it as an example to autocomplete people's programming, is who owns that data? I mean, I would sort of argue that probably GitHub does, but you probably signed something when you join GitHub that's the case. But I'm assuming that depending on how that goes, I told you I hadn't slept. Depending on how this goes, what's going to happen with AI photos and all that kind of stuff, right? Like all of those wonderful AI things that we've been playing with, all of that.
They have something saying that if you pay the big thing, it's available for commercial use.
Right. But who's
in
paying the artist? Who's paying the artist?
Oh yeah.
Right. So let's say Van Gogh's a bad example because he's dead. But Van Gogh, the people who own the rights to Van Gogh's stuff is on the internet. It's now being used by AI to create other paintings. I would go this far. I would argue this. I would say every artist is influenced by other artists. It's just that AI is much more specific in how it's much more capable of creating similar artwork, if that makes sense, right? If we were as good as AI was at copying other people's stuff, we would probably do it. And then we would probably, I guess you could then get sued if it's too similar, right? I guess, but
that doesn't make sense. If you made it, then if it's not a 1-to-1.
If it's not 1-to-1, is it that old antiquated robots can't detect non-white people thing? I think that's the most obvious, I guess, example of it was like the paper towel dispenser that was only reacting to white skin, and that's just because it was designed by white scientists, and then it was set up in a holiday resort.
That just seems kind of dumb.
Yeah, but that's what happens. There's that classic example of Google creating an app for the phone that dealt with photos. That would automatically sort photos and stuff. It was very, very good at it, but every so often it would screw up and have it the wrong way around, the photo. And they could not figure out what was going on. And it turned out there was nobody on the development team who was left-handed. And people use their phone differently when they're left-handed. And so it was rotating the people with the left who were using it who were left-handed were rotating the camera in a way that these right-handed programmers hadn't thought of. And it's one of the reasons why you want to have a really diverse group of people in any kind of a design situation, because then you can cover all the bases, right? If you don't cover all the bases for everybody, then there's going to be, it's not going to work in some situations, right? But this AI thing is interesting to me because I feel like if we're going to get into this whole weird situation with lawsuits where we're going to start going okay, wait a second. So how do people remove their artwork from these AIs, right? I guess it should probably be an artist's right to, well, I don't know anymore, because the reality is if you've posted your stuff online, I guess if you've posted it online, but if other people have posted it online without your permission, I don't even know. I feel like this is a legal nightmare that's coming at us right now. Like this is like a legal storm that could just like cause absolute chaos. Because the reality is, if you could stop these things from creating this art. But then you go, okay, well then what if we just feed it photographs? Then who took the photographs? What about people in the photographs?
I just want to say,
yeah.
just block, if somebody doesn't want their stuff to be done, just block the keyword.
What do you mean?
If somebody doesn't want their stuff to be on the AI, block the
so there should.
name.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying that there should be a way for people to remove their own stuff from these databases of stuff. Amy Kitt's saying that intellectual property laws covers this, but it doesn't. That's the thing, because these aren't directly copying from.
They're inspired.
Exactly. The AI is literally inspired by a database of information. And it creates these paintings, at least the one I was reading about, creates these drawings 1 pixel at a time, asking every time, does this pixel make sense to be here, given the prompt that I've been given? They're saying that the skill that people are going to need in the future for art or for marketing materials and I've been experimenting with some of this stuff that writes for you as well. There are websites. I think it's called, what's it called? Writerly or something like that. I can't remember what it's called now. But there's a couple of websites that will actually create content for you. And again, intellectual property. This is taking data from like literally billions and billions of emails and websites and documents and PDFs and legal briefs and poetry and novels. It's taking things from everything and using that as the source to distill down to what it is that you're asking it to do. And they're saying that the future skill and the future value will be in the creation of these prompts. So basically, if you want a job, VibePup, your job could be in the future coming up with unique ways of writing prompts that makes AI do interesting, new and interesting things, right?
Frog jumping off a skyscraper.
There you go. But anyone can type frog jumping off skyscraper. You want to then learn
Mexican peanut.
how do you use a combination of creativity and different ways of weighting that to get exactly what you want from the AI as you do that, in the style of type thing. Aren't we all inspired by something? How is that different? Exactly, Amy Kidd. That's the problem. That's why the intellectual property thing is something that artists are getting frustrated and angry. And I think part of it is that they don't understand the technology in some cases. And in other cases, I think that they have they're justifiably worried about their jobs and their income and their creative outlet. But the reality is, these AI image generators are creating things that are unique based on an entire history of human art and photography, basically. All of that information is being used as an influence, and your job to write the prompt is what focuses, what funnels all this information into a specific area and a specific look and a specific approach to this art that you're creating. And I think there is going to be, you're going to be learning how to create these prompts, and there's going to be value in these prompts unto itself. What kind of jobs are they talking about you getting, VibePup?
It was basically just telling us about like university, and they were just naming jobs like IT guy, architect, anything that it has a little bit of science in it.
Well, okay, let me give you an example. Architecture. That could be an interesting one. Actually, law could be an interesting one as well, but I'll get to that in a second.
I don't think law really has science. That's just kind of advanced argument.
I was going to say that law can be done by AI. A lot of law is going through old cases and pulling out things that relate to your case, and that is something that AI is very good at doing, right?
I'm very sorry. I just thought of this AI police.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's when you get into the racist data stuff, right? So if you've got a system that has for many, many years targeted poor and people of color.
You don't teach it about the old stuff. You just tell the thing, murder is killing somebody. This is another crime is that. I can't think of any other crimes right now. And then it just takes the evidence and just goes up to a police officer and says, "Hey, could I be onto something here?"
And the problem is that the evidence that we're giving it, we don't know. We don't know.
The evidence that we give it is the evidence that they found in real life. It's not completely replacing. It's helping.
But wouldn't there be higher crime rates in places that have less money? I'm asking. I don't know.
As long as they have a security camera.
So we, okay. But what about, and that just pushes us. What's this? Doesn't they just uniquely inspired by AI and go further? Okay, sorry, we're back on the other one again. I guess what you're saying is, can we reset and have just start the data now without all the bias involved?
And don't add any of the racist stuff. And if it does become racist, remove the racism. It's as simple as that.
But then we as humans have to step in and go, wait a second, that's racist. You should get rid of that.
Yeah, if it's already checking with the owner, like, hey, am I onto something here? Because you don't want an AI to completely just ruin a guy's life by accident.
Well, and that's the problem, right? So one of the things they were doing, one of the issues they were having with facial recognition, say that again? How do I say that? I can't say it.
Facial recognition.
Is that right?
Recognition is how I've always said it. I don't know.
Recognition. Facial recognition. That's it. Facial recognition.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know why I got recognition in there, but anyways. So facial recognition. One of the issues they have there was, again, created in IT labs with a lot of, white university students. It's not as good or as accurate at detecting faces of people with color, right? So into itself, there's more likelihood that it was going to mistake the image of a black man, more likely that it was going to mistake a group of people as a criminal, as opposed to the white people that it had been tested on, which is just interesting. It's all stuff that we just have to keep. We just have to start thinking about this stuff because AI is going to start looking for patterns, and if we aren't aware of the patterns in our own society with this stuff, how the hell are we going to know? How who knows what we're going to teach it, right?
You give it crime cases from
right. But if but again, if you look at crime cases,
and then it would get the patterns from those crimes and start putting those into whatever thing you want it to help solve.
And okay, so I guess it depends what you're trying to do with the AI, I suppose, right? Are we trying to identify are we trying to identify criminals before they do something wrong? Are we trying to identify criminals once they've done something wrong? What are we using the AI for, would you say? What's a good use of AI for law?
Somebody kills someone, you don't know who it is, the AI goes in and it's basically a detective, not a police officer.
Okay, so it takes the data and it processes the data for you and says this is who probably who it is. No, you're saying it needs to identify the person. So it's taking the DNA or whatever and figuring that out.
Yeah, it doesn't go into the crime scene. It just takes the evidence and just basically takes from the evidence and says it's probably this guy.
So it could get together, put a list of possible suspects together for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the data that we get from that, if historically more people of color have been arrested for crimes than white people, then isn't the AI going to be more likely to pick out black people then, or people of color?
But if you tell it, if they're black, don't make them the same as a white person.
So we could come up with an algorithm to weight the information. Say okay, so the information that we've given you is biased against people of color. So we're going to give you an algorithm that will balance it out a little bit more, so it's better, it's more accurate when it goes. That's interesting. So we're
To make it not racist, don't let it be racist, is what I'm trying to say.
right. I guess it's just very difficult for us to figure out, because one of the things that happens with AI, which I thought was interesting, was like they can the perfect example was they were trying to identify a fish. I think I told you this before, but they were trying to identify this fish. So they got AI to start identifying photos that had this fish in it, and they got very, very good at it. It got very good at finding these fish, and then they started digging down to figure out what were the patterns it was looking for. And one of the photos, or one of the many photos that the AI had started looking at millions of photos of people's fingers. And they're like, why the hell the fish doesn't have any fingers? Why does it have...
I'm sorry, I just found that really funny.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? So in identifying a fish, it's looking at fingers. Why do you think it would do that?
I wasn't expecting you to say fish don't have fingers.
Exactly. The fish don't have fingers. They don't have fingers, so why are fingers part of the AI's form of recognizing this fish? Because people were holding it. Thank you, Laurel Leatherwood. Yeah, this was a fish. It was a trophy fish. It was a fish that people were holding up for photos and saying, hey, look at this fish I caught. And as a result, the AI doesn't know. It's just looking at a photo and looking for what is the common trait in all of these photos. And one of the most common traits in these photos was people's fingers all along the bottom of it. So that's how it was recognizing the data. And it was getting very good at recognizing the data, because if it didn't know that there were fingers involved in it, then it probably wouldn't, like if this was a different type of fish that people weren't proud of catching or didn't catch in a trophy-like way, you probably wouldn't be looking for fingers anymore, right? Maybe you'd be looking for, I don't know, garbage if it was like a fish that lived in, the bottom of lakes or whatever. Like the point is that AI looks at things in a completely different way than humans do. So, for example, AI can look at someone's heartbeat and say, "You're gonna this person's gonna have a heart attack," and you're like, "What? Well, why?" And it's like, who knows? Statistically, it could be a billion different things. It could be, anyone who's played tennis in the last 10 years, taken a bus, eaten a burger, gone to the opera, and then done this, and a whole weird random collection of things. People who have that combination of things has resulted in a heart attack. And the AI is getting better at predicting who has a heart attack, and the doctors have no sense of why, what is AI found that may or may not relate to it. Or maybe there is stuff that relates to things that we didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like, it's finding things in the data that we would not even think to look for, patterns that we would not even think to look for, if that makes sense. Wonderful. AI used by insurance companies needs to be outlawed ASAP. Yeah, wow. Xenos, how are ya? Fish fingers are a disturbing idea. I know, it's really creepy, actually. But law is one that I find fascinating, because I feel like there's a lot of these jobs that you think of as like white collar, go to university, get a great job, you're set for life type thing, that will not, I don't think it's going to exist. Like, I don't think law, what are they called? Assistant attorney, what are they called? Like
lawyers?
Yeah, what are they called? But assistant lawyers, like lawyers, the underlings, the lawyerly underlings, whatever they're called, whose job is to go and wade through all these books of data and stuff. That can all be done by AI, by machine learning. Paralegals, that's it. So paralegals, gone, right? Finished. What if artwork, instead of hiring Jack Jastra to do logo work for you, and AI creates that logo for you.
I was going to say, although Jack Jastra is cool.
We love Jack Jastra. I don't want Jack Jastra to be out of a job. I love Jack Jastra's work. But what's going to stop AI from creating logos for people? And
I wonder what would happen if you said in Midjourney in the style of Jack Jastra. Would it find anything?
Ooh, I don't know. You want to try that?
Yeah.
I'll try right now. Okay, I'm going to go in. If I hang up on you, I apologize. I'll come back. All right, here we go. So what should we do? What should we do? What can
Rocket ship in the style of Jack Jester.
Well, what if we go with logos? All right, how about that? What if we do like a rocket ship logo? Okay. Okay, so rocket ship logo. Rocket ship corporate logo, maybe? Corporate.
Just logo, I
Just
think
logo?
would be better.
Okay, rocket ship logo in the style of Jack. Would he be one word, do you think? Jack Jasper, probably, right?
Jack space Jesser.
Yeah, okay, Jack Jasper. All right. Okay, it's going. It's going right now. Can I pull it up, do you think? Is there a way to can I share this? Let's see if I can share this. Dun, dun, dun,
Same
dun.
way you showed the thing on Discord. Just open up
Did
your
that work
Discord.
before? There you go. Okay, it's doing it right now. Oh, do you like the what's his name? The Bob
Ross. I like that. I like
the Bob
that.
Ross raccoon. Don't you love that? That was my
I
Bob
actually
Ross
really like
raccoon
that.
painting. Yeah, I'll bring it up.
I don't really think it's understanding in the style of Jack Jesser.
But here's the thing is, I love this stuff. I truly love the art that this thing comes up with. You know? Wow, that's interesting. Look, one of them looks like a fly almost. It looks like
I kind of like the bottom right.
Yeah. 93. It's not. But is that in the style of Jack Jasper, would you say?
I would not say. He's in the chat.
Hey, Jack.
Would
Do I hear my name? Yes, you do. Your ears should be burning. So I was just, Vipup was just saying, would Midjourney be able to create something in the style of Jack Jasper? You know what I mean? Laura Leatherwood says, yeah, I'm already figured I'm out of a job. Yeah, this book that I just read, which is absolutely fascinating about AI. Let me see if I can find the name for you, because it really is. I mean, it raises some. It gets a bit long-winded at the end. It gets a bit sort of personal about his personal life and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, okay. But the book is called. Let me see. It's called AI Superpowers: China, Silicon Valley, and the New World Order. And it's Kai-Fu Lee is the name of the author. And it's all about AI and about China's part in AI. But one of the things that he talks about is we need to stop sticking our head in the sand like a bunch of ostriches and start thinking about how this is going to affect things, because it's going to have a huge impact on society. What's going to happen when the cars are driven by AI, the trucks are delivering things by AI, the food is being prepared by AI, the art is being done by AI, the furniture building, architecture, perfect example, architecture. What's to stop you from typing architectural prompts into an AI and having it design buildings for you? There's lots. In fact, it would be much better at doing it than humans, because it could bring in all of the codes that are, oh my God, why hasn't someone done that? You're a genius, Vipup.
that was you.
An AI architect. No, but you brought up architecture. Architecture, AI architecture. It would take in all of the rules of whatever specific local rules would be required. You could type in what you want to do in a prompt, and the better you get at making that prompt, the better the AI will be at delivering you plans that will deliver a building that is cool and as soon as it comes out of the machine is going to be doable from a legal standpoint, because it will address every single concern that local zoning would require. Holy crap. Someone should just freaking patent that right now. We're geniuses. And then just send the checks to Vipup and David, okay? Right? But isn't that...
Give us all the money.
But isn't that... There you go. There's a company to pitch, Vipup. You want to get a job? Pitch a company that creates buildings. Like, how cool would it be to design buildings by typing in your where the building would be? Because it could also come up with like what it would also include things like where the sun's going to be. It would do. Holy shoot! This would be freaking awesome. Somebody should code this. This is like, and then print the house. Exactly, Travar. Oh my God, that's so true. And then 3D print the house. Forget tech bandits. We gotta start a company, Vipup. But
actually think that it would be a thing way in the future. I don't think that will be
No, but
I don't even think that'll be in my life.
but you could start on it. You don't think that'll happen in your life? They're 3D printing houses already.
But are they 3D printing skyscrapers with windows, many people going in and out?
No. But you're already using AI to some extent or machine learning. You're using it to some extent to do things like stress testing, right? Like they don't build buildings and then go, I hope it holds. They build dynamic simulations that will in the computer come up with virtual worlds that will blow winds against your computer and God forbid fires and all sorts. Like it's testing the stress without actually having to build the stuff. I mean, one of the other things they talk about in this book is iteration. Like you could just design and design and design and just keep coming up with different designs until you get what you want without having to design it. Like, you run your AI architecture program overnight, and the next morning you have a series of 50 or 60 different options to look at, all that adhere to local zoning, local rules, local materials, and can create visuals of what it would look like at various times of day and the effects it would have on the surrounding buildings. What about that? Right?
That'd be cool.
Wow. Just get some sort of nanoblocks to create the skyscraper. The skyscraper stuff, yeah, I'm not sure that, look, I think robots will be climbing that building and building the building for us in no time at all. Because why the hell would you have people, right? It just makes sense. Like any job that is repetitive, boring, or dangerous, or potentially injuring to people, or that requires on processing large amounts of data, that's going to be done by computers. Doctors. Why the hell would I don't want a doctor to tell me what they think's wrong with me. I want a freaking computer to look at every single image ever taken and tell me what's wrong with me. Don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, doctors.
Doctors have bad days.
There's a lot of good doctors, but for every one good doctor, there's one bad doctor.
Well, I got to think it's doctors. I think doctors could then do exactly what they're supposed to do, which is be able to explain to you what's wrong, talk you through the process. If they weren't spending their whole time trying to figure out what's wrong with you, and they could have an AI give you a bunch of options that they could use, they could cast their brilliant minds. Like they've trained, they know all this stuff. So they can now go, okay, wow, that is probably what it is. Let's run a few tests or whatever. And the doctor would have more time to work with the patient and be dealing with them as a patient as opposed to just like a problem they're trying to solve, right? I mean, I think AI in medicine will take could change things entirely for that matter. You know what I mean? Do you think you really need that? I mean, isn't it obvious what's wrong with you? I already know what's wrong with me. You know what I mean, though? I mean, that's fascinating. Every class of doctors who has one who graduated last. What?
Should I say? This has made me think of a very fun story that I've had with a doctor. I thought I was borderline diabetic for, I'm going to say, year and a half.
Really? Why? You had symptoms?
No, the doctor just said I was borderline diabetic. We got another doctor to look at it. I wasn't. I believed it for a year and a half when I could have been having chocolate cakes in bed for a year and a half. Shut the front
door. That doctor stole chocolate cake from your mouth. Really?
I remember I was like so sad the day that I was told I was borderline diabetic because I.
Did they do a blood test or something? You did a blood test. They said, "Oh my God!"
They got a blood test, and I have no clue how crazy the doctor was.
Huh.
Or if they're just having a bad day, and it's just like, you know what? I don't like this kid.
Well, it's funny, first off, I can't imagine them ever saying that. But Mr. Clean Tracy, thank you very much. But I think this is the thing, is that doctors are fallible. Doctors make mistakes. Humans make mistakes, not just doctors. And I'm not belittling the work of doctors, obviously. But the reality is doctors are pulling from the resources they have, from the memories they have, from Googling what they need. Every time I go to the doctor, the guy, he's great. He sits down at Google and he Googles stuff and then explains stuff to me. That's brilliant to me. That makes total sense to me. I don't want him to pretend he knows everything because I know he doesn't. I know nobody knows everything. So the idea that he will actually go and look stuff up and be able to address it and speak to it in a more sort of expert way than I would if I was Googling this stuff. I just assume I've got everything from, you know, from the Black Death to you know, some kind of alien disease when I look stuff up. So thank you, H4CO. I think what's interesting here is that in a way, machine learning would allow a doctor to be more like a doctor, if that makes sense. Be able to talk to their patient, spend more time with their patient, be more about making that connection and making the experience of whatever is wrong with the person less traumatic. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I have a doctor who's very, very good about checking up on me every year. He's actually an oncologist. He's a cancer doctor, but so he checks in on me every single year because he doesn't like there's some tests that I've had done that he doesn't like the looks of. So every year he makes me go and do these procedures because he wants to make sure that it doesn't get worse. But imagine if he's too busy. What if he misses a year? What if he gets distracted or I get, you know, I love the idea that there's data, that there are computers, that there are systems that can be constantly checking to make sure that all these patients are getting the care that they need. You know, and one of the biggest issues we have in Ontario right now is that there aren't enough doctors to read the results of these tests. And in your case, you know, AI can give you 2 or 3 different opinions on something right away, right? As opposed to having to go to different doctors and talk to them about stuff. You can have an AI run, you know, 10 different attempts at 10 different blood tests for you and see, you know, what it agrees on. And literally, the AI can argue with itself about what it thinks you've got. You know,
Hello?
Hello? Who have we got with us now?
Fluffy the cat.
Hey, Fluffy the cat! We're just talking about how none of us are going to have jobs because computers are going to take over everything. And I was saying that I think that it's actually could be as long as we're ready for it, I feel like it could be a good thing, right? Like if doctors are better at their job because they've got access to everything. The guy who's the book that I was just reading, this one about the AI superpowers thing, he was diagnosed with cancer, stage 4 cancer, which is basically like saying you're dead. Like that's like basically in his mind, that's what happened to him. And it turns out when he started doing research on it, that the reason why they have these stages is because it's just a much clearer, easier way for medical students to learn about cancer. They have to group stuff into smaller chunks because they can't possibly learn every single possible variant of these different types of cancers and stuff. So they just go like, okay, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And it basically depends on like where they find the cancer, basically. So by stage 4, it's in like 4 main areas of some sort. I'm sort of paraphrasing, but roughly the idea is like, we've come up with this kind of like arbitrary made up way of like going, okay. Yeah.
I made a 3D half pipe.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
You made a 3D half pipe with what?
With the 3D machine.
With a 3D printer?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Where'd you get the plans?
Huh?
Where'd you get the plans for it?
Plans?
Yeah. What, did you make it yourself? You designed the whole thing yourself?
No, I made the machine do it.
But how did you tell the machine what to do?
Asked my parent that.
So you talked to your parents about a 3D design and you printed it out. Where did you print it out? You got a printer at home?
No, 3D printer. It's downstairs.
Sweet. How big is it? How big is the half pipe?
It's big.
Big? Like bigger than my head?
No.
Okay. Half of my head?
How big is your head?
I don't know. It's like a usual size head.
Like
the size of like a small beach ball.
What are you asking? I think it's smaller than.
Smaller than my head. So, okay, with a ruler, if you were holding a ruler, is it half of a ruler? Like, is it 6 inches or is it like 12 inches? What do you think? Like, where's it at?
I'm about to go. We're making two. We're making another one right now.
Really? How long do they take to print?
It's an hour. 9 hours and
9 hours.
9 hours.
Wow. Did I show you what happened in my last print?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it ain't pretty. This is my last print.
I can't. I'm trying to.
I'm holding a handful of blue spaghetti.
I'm trying to find how I watched the stream.
Wait, David, what happened there? How did you get Cookie Monster for?
I don't know. Like, so I think what happened, I was using, I hate the smell of it. It's ABS, so it's a different material than I usually use. I like PLA because it doesn't smell and it works really well, beautifully. But I still had to move the printer inside because it was too cold in the garage. It kept saying minimum temperature, wouldn't start up. So I had to bring it in. I tried pointing heaters at it, everything didn't work. So I brought the 3D printer inside and I printed it with
find it.
You can't find it?
I can't find the stream.
Oh, it's okay. It looks like someone took a blue sponge and pulled it all apart. That's basically what it looks like. It's like a big stringy sponge. And what happened was that it started to print really well. Like so the bottom of the dog is here and it started printing up, but then it came off the bottom. And so it basically, the 3D printer is just stupid. It's just dumb. It just squirts out plastic, right? So it didn't know that there wasn't anything to put the plastic on. So it just starts basically printing in thin air and it just comes out like strings. And that's how that worked. So and I left it run all night. I didn't know that it was doing it. So it was basically just.
That was the last squad. You can hold this
That's loud.
What was that?
It was. I don't know.
Holy moly. Anyways, that was so my 3D print totally screwed up, and I call it the blue poodle now. I just pretend that I was just trying to print a poodle because that's what it looks like. All right, so you've 3D printed a half pipe, even though you didn't think you could do that. Now, can you print actual fingerboards with it? The little skateboards.
Yeah.
Yeah?
But I think the wheels would move.
You don't think the wheels would move? Well, maybe you could. I feel like you should be able
Print
to
the outline of it and then make the wheels separate.
Can I see the half pipe that you made? I found the video.
You found a video?
I found the live stream.
Oh, you want to see it? Oh no. This was just so. This is what I tried to print.
Oh.
That's what happened to my print. It just became a giant ball of messed up blue plastic. But yours worked. Now, what kind of printer do you have? Is it the same? Is it the same kind? Does it melt plastic? Or is it a fluid that it uses? Is it a resin printer, or is it like is it like a hot glue gun that just lays down lots of plastic until it's all built up?
What are you asking me?
I don't know. It's just.
What are you
It's asking what is it like?
What type of printer?
asking? It's a ender.
It's an ender.
Ender, and do you put like a roll of plastic? Like, is there like a big like a roll of plastic that you feed into it? Have you seen it printing?
Yeah, I see it printing right
It's
now.
pretty cool, isn't it? And does it have like a roll of plastic that's feeding into it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like they call it was it something deposit something or another? Basically, it's like, you know what it is? It's like a glue gun, but it's a glue gun that's being held by a robot that slowly moves around, or actually quite quickly moves around and fills up the plastic as it's supposed to. It's really cool. I love it. I can watch. I just think it sounds really cool and it looks really cool when it's doing it. But there's other ones that dip themselves in a liquid, and then that like a laser hits it, and it hardens the plastic, and it comes out and it's upside down, and it's apparently those are very, very fine. You can get like incredibly detailed, and so the wheels would work really well with one of those printers.
I was going to say, we have a resin printer, and they do print very, very, like, it's very detailed. Like, you don't see the
lines at all.
You see a little bit of lines, but they're not too bad.
Could you do a test for us? Could you try printing some trucks for us?
I could talk to my dad about that.
I'm sure there's some models that exist. You could just print them out. I don't think they would take long. Is it stinky though?
I can do it. No, it doesn't smell like anything. I could do it after the sprint.
You can do it
after like 9 hours.
Yeah, try it out. I would be curious to know if they work. I mean, I'll try it on mine as well, see if it works. But because they'd be quite small, so they shouldn't take too long to do.
You need to level. You need to level it. Like how it made that big ball. You need to level it to let it print.
Well, you know what it was? The leveling wasn't the problem. The problem was it was too cold. So what was happening was it wasn't sticking properly because the room was too cold for it. So what it really needs to be, when I print with that material again, I would put it in a box next time, I think, to keep it all warm and cozy in there. Because otherwise what happens is that it basically hardens too fast, so it doesn't stick together properly. Because when I use the other stuff, the PLA, it's perfect. It's the best. But I've got this cheap ABS stuff that I use sometimes, and I'm not going to use it again because it's a pain in the ass. But dip it in liquid like a reverse Terminator ending. Yeah, kind of. All right, so I'll try to print some trucks myself. I'd be curious to know if they work. I'd be curious to know how small you could get that they spin still. You know what I mean? I'm guessing that they'll print.
You would need a machine, a real machine that's capable of able to do that, make really small.
I mean, one of the neat things about 3D printing is you can print things that are separate but are connected, if that makes sense. Like, so that you could get spinning things on a 3D printer. That I wonder if I have it with me. Do I have it? Oh, it's probably upstairs. But sometimes you can get. Well, I don't know if you still got the stream up, but even just like these things. So this is like a little flexi. This is like a little flexi lizard, but it's all printed as one piece. Right?
Is that 3D printed?
It's 3D printed, but it's 3D printed, but it moves, right?
Yeah, it's just how they make it. It's just how the robot makes it.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't pull this. If I pull it apart, I'll break it because it's actually being printed together. It's all bound together. There's no you couldn't make this in separate parts and put it together. It wouldn't work. But it works because you can 3D print it, which is really cool. And this is made out of the PLA stuff, which I like. This is this wonderful PLA material. That's it doesn't stink. It's great. Oh, I love it. Although I am thinking about getting a stinky resin printer, though. I gotta say, would love to get a resin printer.
It actually doesn't smell too bad if you have a covering on it.
Oh, does it come in a which printer do you have? Do you know?
My dad has a Voxelab.
Oh, Voxelab. I'm writing it down.
Also, I have a very fun Tech Bandits thing to say.
Oh, what do you got? What do you got?
I am a dungeon master.
Shut the front door. Did you play Dungeons & Dragons?
Not yet. I'm still making maps and stuff.
Sweet.
But I am a dungeon master.
Oh, that's wicked. You're going to be in charge of running the dungeon at school.
Yeah. I also, if it's okay with you, I'm going to ask you before I do it.
Yeah.
Can I, say my first encounter? When you first start playing, what I'm going to say to explain the world and where you are in the game.
Yeah.
You wake up in a cave with no memory of how you got there. You only slightly remember the name of a guy. It was a No. You think it was Jeb. You look around and you see the dusty atmosphere of the cave. You see 4 other people with you. What do you do?
Well, if it's a dusty cave, the first thing I would do is bring out my inhaler.
Bring out a mop and start cleaning.
Bring out a mop. Who said that? I was gonna
Me.
say I was gonna say an inhaler because of all the dust. I think I would say, who goes there? And ask everyone who they are. How about that?
What?
So you would say, who goes there?
Who goes there? Who's here with me? Who are you? Why are we
But-
here?
I have already got a little story made out. I kind of want to make it like a cult. Like
Ooh.
you're going through cities that have been invaded by a cult.
Ah, cool. And are we members of the cult, or are we people who are captive by the cult?
This is kind of gonna be one of the secrets in the campaign. One of the party members is in the cult.
Is it me?
No, this is gonna be with friends.
Oh, I
so,
see. Okay. So will you secretly tell one of your friends that they're the cult? They're
yeah,
the cult?
I've already told the guy, and I said if you get a chance to kill one of them, take it.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah,
Man, that's like the most twisted Dungeons and Dragons ever.
if you have a chance to kill one of the party members, take it. But I'm gonna say, don't. I'm gonna make like rules. I'm gonna say like, don't hate the player, hate their character.
Right. Oh, I see. So don't beat up on people. Just like make sure it's a
Hate their character, don't hate them.
What, Fluffy the Cat? What do you think? Would you play that game?
Sure. It sounds really interesting.
Doesn't it?
I really want to play it now.
Now I
But I
kind of
think-
want to play too. Now. You
Do I have to become James Gurney for the Tech Bandits?
Ooh, I don't know, man. James might get mad if you take his job.
He
You're like
has all the science and stuff.
you're like machine learning. You're like taking over
No,
James
no, he can
Gurney's
make-
job.
No, he's the second one. He's a second, but the James Gurney's the first. He can be the second.
Ah, okay. So he could be like an assistant dungeon master.
Yes.
And a
That's a pretty-
learning dungeon
That's
master.
a pretty great story to start, though. I love the cult angle. Like that's really cool.
I just want to say, I watched a couple of videos on how to DM, and they say take all of their 5 cents. You want to tell them what they smell. You want to tell them how they feel, what the area feels like. Like you're not just gonna say it's rock. You're gonna try to describe.
The cold rock drips with water from above. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. I haven't written it down. I haven't wrote it down. That was just kind of off of my head. But I wanted to make it so they basically fell down, and then
That's
like
cool.
they kind of remember a guy named like Jeff Robinson.
Is Jeff Robinson the cult leader?
No, he's a guy who doesn't like the cult. He's the dispatcher who got them to go there in the first place.
Oh wow, this is a cool story. You got to write this down. This sounds like a book too. You could have a whole book series. That's really cool. Okay, so and are there like what about the rules though? Like how do you know how do you learn all the rules?
Go with the flow.
Just go with the flow. So you have to just figure out how to roll the dice and all that kind of stuff.
If something sounds true, it's true.
Do you have a dungeon master's guide? Do you need that kind of stuff?
No, but I'm pretty sure the school is supplying it.
Oh, cool. Okay, I think it's available online as well.
Actually, for some reason, online, all they have is the player's handbook.
Oh.
They don't have anything for the DM.
Oh, maybe because they want you to buy it and spend lots of money and stuff on it. Maybe that's the problem. What about the 3D map thing that James Gurney was using? What's it called?
I actually think I'm gonna do it on paper. I'm actually
Paper's fun. It's kind of there's something
I'm
kind of
gonna-
fun about paper.
I'm actually going out to the dollar store with my parents, my mom. I'm just gonna say my mom. I don't know.
Yeah.
I said parents.
Yeah.
To go and look for stuff for D&D.
That's so cool. So what you'll get like big sheets of paper and stuff. You know what's really good? Do I have it here? No, I don't. You can get these giant rolls of brown paper. And you could like roll them out of the table and do all sorts of drawing and stuff on them if you want to. And it's cheap.
Oh,
Like, it's really
those?
cheap paper.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen those, and I
Yeah.
actually have seen someone actually draw
Me and my mom are looking for wrapping paper with 1 inch by 1 inch because that's cheap. Wrapping paper is at the dollar store for like $2.
Huh.
That's
Instead of spending like I'm
48.
gonna say $20 or like 40,
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah,
improvise it.
you can get rolls of, I can't remember what they call it. They call it something like, I think it might even be like work paper or something. Like it's like cheap paper, but it's really cool because it kind of looks like old parchment as well. I should grab it. Let's see if I can find it. Hang on a second. I'm back in a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Fluffy, you're in charge.
Okay, that makes sense. I like to turn it to cannibalism. We were having a chat the other day where if lab grown meat is the same as eating a human, like if you lab grow a human steak, is it the same as eating a human?
What is growing? Whatever you just said.
You basically, from what I understand, you get the cells of, and you just grow it, and you make the meat. Oh, he came back with it.
See, it's this stuff.
Oh.
It's like brown wrapping paper. If you buy brown wrapping paper, this is like a bigger piece. It's so good because
I
it's,
actually have one of those, but I need to have the line so I can say, "Oh, that's 20 meters. You can't go there. Too far away."
You need
Whatever
like
you just said.
grid.
You basically.
That is very whatever just happened. I don't know what just happened.
I think you accidentally turned the stream sound on.
Oh yeah, sometimes you'll get like a feedback if you do that. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so you've got a cult. Are there any like dragons or demons or anything, or any? Like...
Yeah, there is gonna be a dragon because I'm going all into this. I want to have a cult leader riding a dragon.
I would probably follow. Yeah. What was that?
I got 1. I got like one. The stream says I got 1.3K of those whatever the things are.
1.3K of what?
Yeah, of those things that you can do with the. You buy it and then you can like put it on the thing. Put it on the thing. I don't know.
Oh, really? What, like in Twitch?
Channel points is what somebody's saying.
Oh, channel points. What can you do with channel points? I don't even know what you can do with them. I didn't even know.
You can mute Cal for 5 seconds. That's
what?
it.
Who needs to mute her? She never talks anyways.
Mute who?
Cal Rear is our, I call her the hammer. She's our moderator. She's the one who's really good at making sure that I stay on topic. Not at all. She's really good at like when someone misbehaves, she gets in there and just kicks them off. Channel points. Yeah, James says channel points as well. Okay, someone just redeemed their channel points. It gets to highlight a message. I am missing one thing from Stargaze, and it is a game. Would do it similar to Mass Effect where you can create alliance and fight against all sorts of enemies. Well, I'll tell you, you know what a fun game was? There's actually a Stargate Dungeons & Dragons game, which is done by Wyvern Gaming, I think they're called, which is really, really fun too. So that's definitely, yeah. It's true. Cal rules, even when she's grumpy. Okay. Okay, how long do you have to play this game? Or do you just play like a chunk of it every day type thing? And how many people are playing?
I want to keep it small so there's just 4 people in a party.
Oh yeah, that's smart. Otherwise it takes too long. It's like otherwise it's like you're waiting for so many people. Like remember with like the Tech Bandits when there were too many Tech Bandits, it was like, oh my god, this is never going to end.
Yeah, and basically it's until the end of the campaign or when everybody just kind of says, I'm bored, let's do something different.
And so, okay, so you got 4 people. Are they all friends of yours, or are they people you don't know, or like what's the rule?
2 friends, 2 random.
2 friends and 2 random. Oh, that's good. That's a good combo. All right, I'm just trying to find this Dungeons and Dragons thing for people. Oh, here you go. Okay. That's the. I don't want that. I want the actual. Where's the actual website? For God's sake, where are they? Come on, Wyvern D&D 5e. Is that it? Wyvern? Nope.
Search up Stargate Dungeons & Dragons campaign.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. For some reason, it won't. All right, I'm looking now. Oh, is it Stargate the RPG? Is it as simple as that? Stargate.
Well, I thought you meant it was D&D.
No, it is. It's based on. There you go. There you go. Okay, so it is. Yes, this is the one. It's really well designed. It's designed like episodes, like in a show. Like you get to actually play the show. But that's and I have no affiliation with this, by the way, at all. I played a couple of games because I was just interested in it. It sort of got me back into D&D a bit, actually. Not as much as James Gurney. Well, you should see if there's any tips. If you need any tips, you got to check with James Gurney, see if he's got any tips for Dungeon Mastering.
I actually asked him a long time ago, but I am up to any new suggestions because I'm actually quite nervous for it.
Are you?
Yeah,
What are you nervous about? Like, what are you thinking? Like, if it's what's going to go
I just
wrong?
don't. As you can tell from TechBanditry, I'm not the best at talking in full sentences.
What? So what? It's D&D. No one talks in full sentences. I never finish a sentence anyways. I've always changed my mind by the end of it.
That's true.
So, all right. Well, hey, okay. So, Fluffy the Cat, if you were playing a Dungeons and Dragons game like this, is there anything that you would want to happen in it? Maybe you got some suggestions.
No, I don't know. I would.
Dragons, orcs.
Dragons.
I think you sort of can't lose with dragons, can you? Like, I sort of feel like if you put a dragon in the game, it's kind of neat. I love the idea that the leader of the cult is riding a dragon. Now I want to play him.
I think it's just gonna be like some average dude just riding this huge dragon.
That's kind of cool. He's like a self-help guru on a dragon.
Or I just had a really good idea. A Tarask.
A what?
A Tarask. It's basically this big, very difficult monster.
Really?
It's the hardest. It's apparently the hardest enemy to beat in D&D. Make it so the cult is actually the good guys, and they are keeping the Tarask at bay. You don't unknowingly try to stop the cult from doing it. You release the big bad.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just add more plot twists until I get something right.
Wow, Tarask, Tarask. That's a creepy looking thing. Really creepy, actually. Is it based on something? Is it based on? I guess it's based on an actual. It's a fearsome, legendary dragon-like mythological hybrid from Provence in southern France. It's a French dragon.
Okay, so I need to make it so it has a giant baguette club.
It's got a. So you're like the cult of the baguette.
So they go try to take on the Tarask, and it just hits you with just a ginormous baguette club.
Yeah, suddenly, a giant stale French baguette hits you in the side of the head. It feels like, I don't know.
It feels soft and mushy against your head.
It makes you want to have ham and cheese and drink red wine. Yeah, maybe that's it. Like maybe your leader drinks red wine and eats baguettes, and stale bread is really hard. It's true. Death by bread, Nixie Geek says.
I think that would actually. I think it would actually. I am actually planning on adding some of my favorite characters, mimics. I really like those.
Where are you researching this stuff? You just going online and looking up like monsters in D&D?
D&D Beyond, and just off of my head.
But how do you... Okay, here's the question I have for you. How do you make it fun enough that everyone wants to play, and hard enough, but without killing everyone in the first, couple of turns?
Actually, the D&D Beyond, it has a thing that says, whoa, this is way too hard. Maybe cut it down a bit. And then, this is good.
Oh, here you come. You're going to be replaced by AI. It's going to be AI Dungeon Masters looking after everything for you. French baguettes are now the World Cultural Heritage List from today. I have tried to eat many a stale baguette. I could break teeth. It's true. It's true. A stale baguette, man, it's serious. Did I just screw something up? I can't hear anything anymore. I think I clicked on something.
What would be the opposite of stale?
Fresh.
Mushy.
Fresh.
Mushy.
Fresh.
Yes.
Fresh. Wet.
Fresh.
Moist.
I mean,
a moist baguette. That's like moist critical, only moist baguette. There you go.
Yeah.
Instead of moist critical.
Yeah, everybody's saying moist.
Yeah.
They're saying fresh and moist.
Fresh and moist. Yeah, that's gross. I envy kids who can see the Stargate and then talk to you live. They don't care. We're talking about We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons. The Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I still have a box of Magic the Gathering cards that are Dungeons and Dragons Magic the Gathering cards, but I haven't opened them. I've decided to not open them because I don't want to spend any more money on them. So I'm just going to keep them and then see if they could go up in value. It's like instead of gambling, I'm investing. That's what I'm
gambling.
All right. So he should have a hat. He should have a mustache. Oh, he should. He should have a big French mustache, and it's got baguette crumbs in it.
I should learn French for the campaign.
You could look up a couple of French words that he could use as part of his cult.
I don't think that I'm gonna make the cult French though. That's the thing.
A French cult?
I think I'm gonna make it. I should have the best idea. They're trying to summon. They're trying to bring people back from the dead.
Yeah.
So it causes zombies.
Okay.
They're basically making zombies, and then.
But what about the Tark thing?
Tarrasque?
What about the Tarrasque?
Oh yeah, that actually.
You gotta have the Tarrasque.
Yeah,
I guess they could do a bunch of stuff. Maybe they could bring zombies back as well. This is the beauty: is you could do whatever you want.
I think they should just pretend to be the. They should pretend to be the good guys, but then they're actually the good guys in the end.
Is there a French magic? Is there like some kind of like French dark magic or something? Like, are there any kind? There must be something in online. This is the fun thing about this stuff: is you can basically just pull little things from all over, like whatever you feel like. You could have robots too if you want to. I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? Basically.
I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit more fantasy, but yeah, definitely right. You could get robots in it.
Look at this. A French zombie cult with stale baguette weapons. That's freaking genius. Captain Catherine, I think you've nailed it. Summoning souls in French.
Also bananas.
And bananas. Okay. Fluffy the cat, what do you think? Wait, did we lose Fluffy?
We might have.
It's possible the French zombie cult with stale baguette weapons might have scared them off. It's pretty freaking cool, though. I gotta say, that is very good. So, and how did you become the dungeon master? Did you just say like, "I'll do it," or did someone say you're in charge?
I don't want to really say it, but my friend, not really my friend, but somebody was
your enemy.
Yes.
Your deadly enemy.
Not my enemy. Yeah. Not my enemy.
Yeah.
They're making a campaign from Undertale, and I didn't really want to do that, so I kind of said, well, I'll do it. I'll make one that I think I would enjoy, and that probably means that others would enjoy.
Yeah. Well, look at everyone's enjoying it here already. I don't know what you're nervous about. You've just entertained 68 people with that. Mr. Clean Tracy says you fight them with the squirt guns to make their weapons soggy.
I actually think that would be something just.
Yeah. Sarah Owen says
you gotta remember, one of the people are the bad guys in the party.
Right. There's a mole.
There's a mole, so if they try to do something, that guy can kind of try to say, no, we shouldn't do that. Just leave them alone.
Actively like working from inside.
Work from inside the party to let them win. But then if they figure it out, that's when they...
Oh, James R. Gurney says some sage advice for you. He says, the one golden rule is stick to your world. Don't suddenly change the story of your world. It needs to be internally consistent.
I'm not going to change it as I'm doing it, but I already have a fun story that...
Yeah, no, you got a great... That's fantastic. That sounds amazing. Weaponizing bread. I love it. It's true. Corin Horn R9 says, oh, geez, people weaponizing bread. James R. Gurney, true, for writing fiction in general and D&D. I mean, this is basically it. If you can be a dungeon master and make this stuff up, then notice I caught myself there. You can make stuff up. That's basically writing. You might even be able to, you could write this, if you jot down your notes about this and then write it up, potentially you could hand this in as an English exam, as an English project as well, and get like free marks for creativity.
Actually, it's not even. It's just a side thing. Like, I'm pretty sure tomorrow, we're gonna be like staying and doing D&D and like working on characters and stuff like that. So,
That's so cool. Do you have sheets? Are you gonna print out the sheets and stuff?
I actually, yeah, we are gonna print out the sheets, but
Yeah.
I have seen actually
Oh, do you have die? Do you have like a 20-sided die
Yeah.
to roll so you can roll that?
they're
Fun.
giving us dice, not to keep.
No, you don't get to keep them. Cheap bastards.
No.
Okay, all right. Wonder if you can It'd be hard to 3D print dice, wouldn't it? Because they have to be very even. Actually, they'll probably, dude, you can make your own dice on your resin printer.
And that actually would be cool, because then you could add stuff to the
Yeah,
resin.
yeah, like baguettes.
Add little
You
baguette
can have little
crumbs.
baguettes. That could be little baguettes. Could be the symbol. For
Add a little baguette crumbs to it.
You need like a logo that's like 2 baguettes and one of those. What are they? What are they? The
Like a
tarts.
skull.
That's bread skull. Actually, yeah, it's like a loaf of bread that has 2 bites out of it, so it looks like a skull. That's great. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear about this. Can you like? I guess you can't record it or anything, can you?
I can't record it because it's at school, but I will give updates.
Could you do speech to text?
So
you don't actually
actually
record
don't-
anybody. You're just getting the text. Well, it would be just so good to remember what you've done. Anyways, whatever.
I actually think I'm just gonna like type down and say they ruined the entire campaign. They decided to become milk farmers instead of fighting the boss.
And everyone went home and drank a big glass of milk and dipped their baguettes.
Everyone lived a happy life after they got out.
What about croissants? They're French. You should have croissants as well. XF.
Wait, is that
Kirsten
actually
says,
how it's pronounced? I've always been pronouncing them wrong.
I don't know. That's just the pretentious way of saying it. People call them croissants.
I just call them croissants.
I thought it was croissant. I thought croissant was the French way of saying it, but I could be wrong. XF Kirsten says, my cousin makes dice. Sorry, not die. My cousin makes dice. She sells at conventions. Oh, really? What does she make them out of, XF Kirsten? Very true. Before the show The Expanse was a book, it was a tabletop RPG the creators played. Plus, the storylines of that show, no. Shut the front door. Seriously, Geoframe? Really? I didn't know that. Because I read the book, The Expanse. Well, the first one. I got to read the other one. Before it was a book. Oh, wow. So get this. So you could write a Dungeons & Dragons game, play with your friends. Next thing you know, you write a book and you've got a TV series. How cool would that be?
Really cool.
Wouldn't that be neat? I kind of like that. Now you got to figure out a way to do a Dungeons & Dragons with skateboards, Fluffy Cat. It could be like a skate. What could you be? Actually, that would be kind of cool. Fighting battles.
A guy is just a barbarian, just with a warhammer on a skateboard.
That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of neat, actually. There was a GIF that I saw today of a guy on a skateboard, and he'd somehow connected a little mini skateboard to his baby. So he was like skateboarding with his baby, and then putting his baby on the rails and stuff. Like
I don't know why. I thought you just said that the baby was a skateboard. I don't know
The baby
why.
was on a skateboard. No, God. No, he put wheels on his baby and used him as a skateboard. That would be going directly to jail, I think, for that, I think. Yeah, there's an Expanse podcast with
Or if
the
he
creator.
gets style points.
They wonder how that all started out. Style points. Mad Max with skateboards. Ooh, that's good. Go for Fluff or Not. Mad Max. You ever seen, I guess you probably haven't seen Mad Max, have you?
I don't know if it was Mad Max or another thing, but
Fury Road was one of my favorite films.
all I know is that there is a guy named Thomas in the book. I was reading a book like Mad Max. At least I think it's like Mad Max. I actually don't know.
Like a post-apocalyptic thing?
Yeah.
Hey, Ace Wolfie. How are you? Hello again
Hi.
to you two.
There's a lot of wolves coming
A
in.
lot of wolves. You're like, it's a pack of wolves now. Yeah, wait a second. Do you have to play any characters or anything? Do you have any like character? So you've got your cult leader. Who else do you have? You've got your cult leader, you've got your mole, your evil mole. And then who else do you have?
That's it so far. I'm kind of gonna take it from beginning, middle, and end, but while having like a rough thing of the.
Well, don't forget to do a shop because all you guys ever did was shop.
Yeah, they have no healers.
They have no healers?
They have no healers on the party, so I'm gonna make it like quest rewards.
Huh.
To make it, I'm gonna make it quest rewards. So like if they do one of the quests that I give them, then they get health potions, which then makes them need to do the quest. Which
maybe give them a health potion each to start, so that you could, so they're aware they need them.
I kind of want to make it so there's a guy in the thing, like there's a dead body in the thing, and that it has 2 healing potions on it, and I give.
Smart. That's way smarter because that's part of the story then, as opposed to just giving it to them. That's their. It's part of the story. Oh, that's very good, dude. You got some skills. I want to play this game now. If it goes well, you have to play it with me and Fluffy the cat.
Okay.
Walk us through, we'll do like a mini event, like a mini quest or something, and we'll have like maybe
one shot is.
Maybe James can help us out. That is really neat. James Gurney can retire now. Well, you're old now, James. We're all old.
I can retire now.
Well, that between the AI and Wolf Pup and Fluff the cat, then Fluffy the cat. What would you call your character if you had a character in Dungeons and Dragons?
I would not even know.
No idea? What's your favorite name?
I don't have a favorite name.
You don't have a favorite name? My favorite name's Sebastian. That's why I called my son Sebastian, because I like the name so much.
Well, there is somebody in our party who is a tabaxi, which I think is going to be very hard to...
What's a tabaxi?
It's basically just a cat it's a humanoid cat.
Really? Like that thing from Red Dwarf?
I don't know.
Oh.
I haven't watched that show.
Is his middle name Blood? What? There you go. So
Sebastian. I think what he was saying is Sebastian Blood.
Sebastian Blood. Oh, I see. Very good. I see where we're going with that. Got Sebastian Blood from Arrow. There you go. Of course, right. All right. Well, Fluff the cat. What about favorite characters? Are there any favorite characters in books or anything that you like? Or movies or comic books or anime or anything? Like, are there any characters that you go like that you like? Skateboarders? No. Famous skateboarders?
In Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I mean
just in general.
Yeah, just like for inspiration, for names, for your character names.
No, not really.
Really? What about what's your favorite TV show?
I actually don't have one.
Really? Okay, favorite movie.
I'm thinking.
Favorite video game.
Fortnite.
Okay, well, what's favorite character in Fortnite?
Drift.
There you go. That's a freaking awesome name for a. You could be like, you could be Fluffy Drift, or Drift Fluffed, or Drift Cat.
I was expecting him to say The Rock. I don't know why.
I don't like that person.
You don't like Drift?
No, I don't like
The Rock.
The Rock?
He's in Fortnite.
Oh, The Rock's in Fortnite now as well?
Yeah.
That's too much. Yeah, okay, never mind. Fluff the Drift. Drift, Fluff, Drift. There's got to be some kind of like a play on Drift that you could use. Or just call yourself Drift. That's kind of a cool name, actually, I got to say. Yo, Drift, save me from this dragon. It's kind of cool. And then he hits him with a baguette. All right, I got to go. It's well past my bedtime. Actually, it's not, but I've got a whole bunch of laundry to do before Jane comes home because all of our laundry is in a giant pile in front of the laundry. So I got to do that, and I got to clean up the kitchen, and I did my chores. Is there anything else I need to do? What else do I need to do before my wife gets home? Dishes. I got to do the dishes
I just
as well.
ask, did you leave everything for the last second?
Of course I did. What else would I do? Yes, I've left everything for the last second, and she's coming home. So I did, though. I went to the store and got her some wine for her because I don't want her to come home and there be no wine. So I got some wine, and I'm going to make ramen tonight. That's the plan.
I
Dinner.
just want to quickly ask this: where did you get it? So she has a little bit less angry at you for not doing everything.
Well, I just think she's going to be so happy to see me again that she won't even notice how much stuff is not being done while she's been away. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, put deodorant on. Thank you. That's good to know. Deodorant. Yeah. I could even shower. Maybe shower would be a good idea. Oh, shave. Crap. I was supposed to shave as well. Oh my God. Never mind. Okay. Well, this has been amazing. Are you streaming? Are you streaming, by the way?
No, I have not had dinner yet, and
Okay. What's for dinner tonight? What are you having?
fend for yourself. So I'm gonna have grilled cheese.
Woohoo! Grilled cheese. Do you have it just grilled cheese? Do you put mustard on it? Do you put tomato on it? Do you put anything else on it?
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
I dip it in ketchup. I don't put it on it. I just grilled cheese and then ketchup on the side.
Someone was telling me about some. What do you have? What about you, Fluff Cat? What do you have for? What about what's dinner?
I don't know.
You don't know? Can you 3D print dinner? Oh, could you imagine if you could 3D print dinner?
But I want to be
Why?
plastic.
Well, no, but I mean, you'd use something other than plastic. I wouldn't eat the plastic either. But I'm saying, wouldn't it be cool if you could put like some kind of food stuff in instead of plastic and have it just print out
That
food for you?
would probably the most be impossible thing in the whole universe.
Do you think? I don't
People are
know.
actually trying to do it.
But like, if you think about it, everything comes from just a bunch of like different chemicals and stuff, right? So if you had all the right chemicals, couldn't you have a machine just to print it out?
I mean, I guess.
I would think so. Yeah, I want to invent that because then I could have burgers whenever I wanted.
Yes.
There was a friend of mine who sent me an article about there was like this lab grown steak, but it wasn't actually. I thought it was steak, but it wasn't. It was a plant steak. I'll tell you about it next time. I'll look up the link and find it for you. But it was basically a steak that looked and tasted like steak. He said they've done it. It was very expensive, but they've done it. It is a plant that tastes and cooks like a steak. So, but you don't have to actually eat any animals, and no animals have to die, and there's none of that kind of stuff, right? Oh, there's a chocolate
That makes
printer.
it more yummy.
Yeah. You know, there's one of the people I tweet with on Twitter, their handle is Pancake Bot, and they have a pancake 3D printer.
I would love that.
It is,
I need that.
It
Well,
prints
yeah.
pancakes. Have you seen this thing?
I have seen them. I have seen a not a real print. It's like it's a robot that makes pancakes.
Well, that's my friend on Twitter. They made it. Wonder how much it is. Ooh, there's a special red one right now. Let me see how much they cost. Let me see if I can find. I'll put the link in.
It cost like $1,000
You think it's $1,000 to make pancakes? You think it's that much?
to make.
Do you think it's as much as that? I'm gonna see if I can share the screen.
I think it would actually be around that price. Like,
Really?
yeah, like around 1,700
There it
area.
is. This is it. Pancake Bot. This is who I tweet with on Twitter. Man, I'd like one of these. Okay.
How much is it? I'm
Buying it now.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that exact same one. Yep.
$618. I think it's worth it. What are they printing? Oh, they're printing like lollipops as well.
Oh yeah, you can hook it up to your computer so you can do it with your computer. Your
Oh my
own-
God,
yeah.
that kid's eating a dolphin. That's just wrong. That's
It's not a real one though.
I just want to say,
it's not made of dolphin. Yeah.
dolphins are actually terrible animals.
Dude, first off, I can't believe that. Secondly, that's a freaking T-Rex for breakfast.
That sounds delicious.
Doesn't it? But it's like, why does it have broccoli, though, as well? It's got broccoli, banana, bacon, and a T-Rex. Doesn't that seem a bit weird to you?
That is a crime. It should have meat on the side.
Is that egg? Is that egg?
That looks like meat on the bottom. Oh, that's bacon.
That's bacon. There's bacon right there. It does have meat, but why is it? I'm sorry. I've never had broccoli with my breakfast. Have you?
I mean,
I
I haven't.
I have. I'm not gonna say I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was like a dinner pancake or something. What's this one? Oh, what is that called? I mean, it's Loch Ness Monster. It's plesiosaur. What's it called?
Nessie.
Nessie. But what's the name of the? Isn't it called like a plesiosaurus?
Loch Ness Moth. Oh, Plesiosaurus is what I
that
think
what
it's
it
called.
is? Ooh. And they do like some Cookie art. Oh man, do you know how fat I would be if I had a pancake bot printer? What are you doing, honey? Just 3D printing.
Pink. Wait, how is it pink?
How is
They
it
just
pink?
made a flamingo.
No,
I saw a flamingo.
yeah, they're like flamingos, and it's like a what is it called?
How did they make it pink?
Well, they just put pink batter in,
Oh.
don't they?
Oh, it doesn't make the batter itself? Or
I think the batter goes in the top there. There's like a plastic thing at the top.
does it automatically cook it?
Well, I think it comes out like instead of plastic coming out comes pancake batter, and as soon as it hits the griddle, like the
Oh,
plate,
it has a griddle under it.
yeah. So the griddle it like cooks.
How does it flip?
Oh, that's a really good point. How does it flip? Wait a second. How does it flip?
Maybe it cooks it and then it like
You
grills it.
flip it. You flip it.
So
You flip.
so it prints it out and then you flip it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I want one that flips it for me.
So I can't get automated. Kate, 1 second. I need to learn how to speak.
You know what it needs? It needs one of
Automated-
those it needs one of those ones like those 3D printers that have like a roller on it, so that it can print it and then it just rolls off onto a plate. That's what it should do. Except that it doesn't get flipped though. You need to flip both sides, don't you?
Yep.
Interesting. Well, I'll have to ask.
It's like 10 minutes to make a whole Barney the dinosaur.
I like the idea. I think the smartest use of it, like I love the idea of just like randomly printing breakfast. That sounds amazing. But I think this is where it shines. There's like I'm showing a picture now of like multiple plates that have something printed out onto it. So like they've printed something out of food, but what's great is that they could just print multiple things of that I don't know how quickly, but it's not going to require chefs to do that. It's just like
It takes like an hour for each one of those to print.
oh my God, could you imagine? No, it can't take that long.
It can.
It's only one layer. That would take like what, 10 minutes maybe? 5 minutes?
One layer? Let me see. I can't see.
Like one layer. Oh, you can't see it?
How big is the nozzle?
I don't know. It's probably bigger than a 3D printer one because otherwise it would just get stuck all the time.
What do you mean? Where? Is it in the middle?
It's the 3D printed part is the green stuff, I think.
Oh.
Is the green stuff in the middle there? It's like they've like laid down a
kind of-
bed of something.
That's kind of different. That might take an hour.
Do you think an hour?
But then it would be cold. Is it?
I
Is
feel
the
like it's
pancake
made of
edible?
it's either sugar or some kind of. We should just ask him. I'll have to ask him what he can use it for. Maybe does it say testimonials? Well, there's only one.
It says down there.
Where?
Go back.
Recipes.
It's
Fancy pancakes, banana and cinnamon pancakes.
ooh
But it-
that.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about the other kind of.
Does it cook chocolate chip pancakes?
Oh, that'd be good. Banana and cinnamon.
You'd have to put the chocolate chips in there.
You have to put them in separately, or have a separate robot that drops them on in specific places. Or it could have a nozzle that's just for chocolate, and it could just go and print like little blobs of chocolate where you want it.
Melted chocolate in your
Oh,
pancakes. That would
man. Now I'm getting hungry too. Which doesn't
fudge.
The 3D printer we have, we could put a special nozzle on it. We can make chocolate.
Seriously? You can get chocolate
Yeah.
filament? I wonder if you could use chocolate on mine. Could you imagine if you came back and
You have a Hershey bar.
imagine
can
if
use
you
a
got one of those,
bar.
like if it's screwed up and it just printed chocolate and like giant ball of chocolate like that? I'd be like, oh, it's screwed up again. I guess I got to eat it. All right.
What?
The longest goodbye. This is the longest goodbye. Maybe not the longest goodbye, but you know.
Not even close.
No, it's true. Hear me out. Melted chocolate straight into your mouth. You would be so burnt. You'd be so
Yeah.
burnt.
Okay, here's what you have to do. You have to eat the pancake batter, eat the melted chocolate. It cooks the pancake inside of you.
Oh God. You are the oven.
You become the
Or you
oven.
can put water in your mouth, or put If
Yeah,
you're
just
trying burning,
drink boiling water.
Yeah, that's perfect. There you go.
not-
We're not, the Tech Bandits are not about blowing things up, eating people, or drinking boiling water, just to be very clear.
Yeah, we are.
That's all we're about. That sounds like a twisted plot for a D&D game. Dun, dun, dun. The cult that drinks boiling water and throws pancake mix in. Okay. I'm out of here. I gotta go. This has been a pleasure. I'm so excited to hear about your Dungeons & Dragons. So let me know how that goes.
I will inform you tomorrow.
And if you get a chance, try that. I'd love to see how a resin print of those wheels goes, and how a non-resin, like so Fluff the Cat, you're gonna work on some wheels and see if
Yes.
they work. I guess
after the
you could almost print different sizes and see which ones work better. Because my hunch is the bigger they get, the better they'll spin. But then you need really big hands to have the fingerboard like that. Anyways, all right. Good luck with that. I'm gonna say, be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! Where's Huzzah? Oh, Huzzah's left. Never mind. Huzzah got bored and left, just so everyone knows. That she's disapproving. I don't know when I'll see you again. Probably next week. But I was wondering about maybe possibly Friday coming back for a little bit of a chat, but we'll see. Dr. McKay approves of these points.
I'm in LA on Friday.
You're in LA?
We're going to LA on Friday.
Woohoo! Disneyland?
Nah.
Where are you going?
We're going to see a family member.
Oh, cool. Well, that's cool. That's good. It's a little California living. I miss old California.
For like days.
I used to live in Santa Monica. Is it near there? Are you going near there? If you go near Santa Monica, say hi to Santa Monica for me.
Okay.
Santa Monica is nice. It's true. I love Santa Monica.
We might go to the beach in Santa Monica.
You gonna go to the beach?
We might.
Ah, that's the best. The boardwalk and all that stuff. Oh, so cool. All right. Well, now I'm just jealous. You're playing Dungeons and Dragons. So Wolf Pup gets to play Dungeons and Dragons. You get to go to LA. What do I get to do? Clean up after the dog. Well,
You get to have pizza.
I can't have pizza. My wife's home now. Our pizza days are over.
No,
Now-
you get pizza and you lay back and relax and watch a movie.
I like that. Friday night. That's what I'm doing then. You got it. All right. Well, look, have a great, great trip. Fluffy the Cat, if I don't talk to you before you go, have a great time. How long are you gone for?
2 days.
Oh, great. So you just go for the weekend, basically.
Yes.
That's great. All right. Well, enjoy that. And Vibe Pup, good luck with your Dungeons and Dragons. And when in doubt, hit up with a baguette.
Yes, I will. I think I should just make it that a blimp goes over everything and just drops a baguette on somebody's head.
Exploding drones. That's true. It could be that balloon that holds all the exploding drones in it.
There's just a blimp and they just drop a baguette down and it hits somebody.
It's raining the baguettes. Look out. The fire from the sky. Because they're French too, right? Is that right? That's my French accent.
I don't think I can make it French.
Hello, hello, hello. This is the cult of the Baguette Dragon. That's the French Canadian. And not so much French, it's French Canadian. So, anyways. All right, I'm out of here.
What time is it for you? What time is it for you guys?
For me, what time? That's a good question. It is 10 to 6 for me. What time is it for you?
It's
Here it's 10 to 7.
1.
It's 2 something for you?
Yep.
What do you want, another planet? How far away are you? You must be miles away.
We're only in Washington.
Oh, Washington State. You know we used to live in Washington State, right?
Yeah.
Point Roberts. Very cool place. Tiny little place. Weird little place, but I loved it. I miss it. All right, coming up on midnight for Anquiatus. All the cool kids live in Washington. Oh, look at that. XF Kirsten says you're one of the cool kids, Fluffy the Cat. 12 a.m. God, everyone's up so late. Man. All right, I got to do some laundry.
It's 12 a.m. for someone?
For someone, they're up at the midnight. Starfire is here at midnight. Shouldn't you be sleeping? What about getting that 8 hours we were talking about? 2:52. What's that? In the morning or the afternoon? I think Trevero's in the same time zone as you. All right, get out of here. I gotta go do laundry and clean up this house. It's a pigsty right now. All right, everyone. Wish me luck. My wife's coming home.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Thank you much. Talk soon. Cheerio.